Bora, bora. Tamo online. Vamos lá, hoje o evento da Funcom, Conan Exiles. O futuro do Conan será traçado hoje. É isso aí. Vamos ver como é que tá a Funcom aqui. Se vai ser na Twitch TV. Transmissão meio-dia. Fala, Murilo Madruga. Opa, só no aguardo. Alan Jones. Opa, tô na área. Vamos que vamos. Atote cansado. Salve, salve, família. É isso aí, hein? Vamos lá, né? Vamos ver o que vai gerar hoje, hein? Bom, a Funcom já soltou uma notazinha aqui, né? No Twitter, né? O que eu vi aqui eu agradei, cara. Até que eu agradei. Você está a ponto para ficar na clareza do verdadeiro poder. Esse é o primeiro vislumbre oficial do futuro do Conan. Agora tá aquela questão, né? Quando? Eu acho que não vai demorar muito, não. Vai demorar muito, não. Provavelmente eles vão mostrar hoje. Semana que vem tem um testezinho live. Pra poder não sair uma coisa bugada pra galera, né? Aí depois já lanço o conteúdo, mas não se preocupa não, galera, vai sair liso pra vocês aí, amigo. A tonte cansado, empolgação, mais de 8.000. Pois é, amigo, o negócio tá... Galera, tudo ansioso. Rapaz, tá uma geada doida aqui, cara. Tô com minhas mãos aqui frias, tá louco. Tô agora, a sensação é que eu tô lá no norte. Lá no Conan, lá perto dos gigantes de gelo. Tá doido? Isso aí, isso aí. Alan Jones, estou preocupado com a tal lojinha. A lojinha, amigo. Vamos ver, né? A lojinha é aquela coisa, né? Tem que estudar. Tem que estudar a lojinha. Quer ver um exemplo de estudar a lojinha? Vamos citar um exemplo aqui. Tá lá a loja e tal. Então, vamos supor... DLCs. Quanto que custa uma DLC? Vamos citar um exemplo máximo, né? Do console. Gamer Play, salve meu vizinho. Salve, Gamer Play. Bem-vindo. Vou citar um exemplo do console. Uma DLC no PlayStation 4 ou 5 na Sony custa R$55. Aí você pensa, é uma temporada, né? Como eles disseram lá, né? Vai ser uma temporada em eras. Ou seja, aquela era vai ser uma DLC grande. No valor dessa aí que é R$55. Aí você tem que analisar o seguinte: se eu comprar, se essa era durar 2 meses, vai ser igual eu fazia antes quando eu comprava no Conan, quando saía de 2 em 2 meses uma DLC. Se isso valer a pena para você, aí você investe. Entendeu? Falar, então compensa. Porque a maioria das DLC do Conan, muitas das vezes você tinha uma ou duas, três coisas lá que você queria só apenas, né? Às vezes só a armadura, mas não gostou muito da construção. Às vezes só a construção e não gostou muito das armaduras. Aí tem que... Você mesmo vai ter que administrar isso tudo aí. Magote Nakba, cheguei. Tamo na área aí, ó. 11h26. Eu não sei aonde que a Funcom vai lançar isso, cara. Eu tô aqui. Bom, de qualquer forma, tamo aqui na Twitter deles aqui já, ó. Qualquer coisa nós F5 aqui. Pá. Vamos aguardar. Pra você ter ideia, cara, olha só aqui, ó. 8 meses atrás foi a última developer streams deles, cara. Há 8 meses, cara. Tá doido. Aí depois, ano passado. Mas eu acho que tem mais aqui, cara. Não é só isso aqui, não. Não sei se eles removeram. Cara, eles antigamente, eles eram ativos, muito ativos, cara. Eles removeram um monte aqui, cara. Nossa, eles removeram a maioria, cara. Tinha vários outros aqui. Diego Machado, salve! Salve, Diego! Boa tarde! Galera, tudo aí preparado aí por aquele evento. E a geada tá como aqui? Daquele jeito, toma até uma água aqui. Aí cabo de esfriar é tudo. Vamos lá, hein? Boninha soltou aí, ó. Soltou aí uma matériazinha aí no Twitter. Logo eu fiz um The Flash que fui logo ler. Bom, eles vão, como é que fala? Abordar mais o tema aqui das builds, né? Provavelmente isso aqui é o tema que interessa mais a galera do público PVP. A parte aqui, ó. PVE também, qualquer público, né? Isso aqui vai influenciar muito, né? Ó, tava dando uma olhadinha aqui, ó. Tem uma porçãozinha verde aqui, ó. Experiência, tem um 40 aqui, uma porção verde. Tem a paradinha dos coin, mas essa porção verde aqui, cara, o que será que é isso aqui, cara? Movimento, penalidade, experiência. O que será essa porçãozinha verde, hein? Ó, vai ganhar passivo logo no início aqui já, ó. De regeneração. Agora não sei se é só pra necromantic ou é tudo. Salve, Márcio Bueno. Olha aí, ó. Petrificação, cara. Imune a bleed, poison, disease. Não, petrified. Você está imune a bleed, a veneno, a doenças e... Thunder effects. Tente Vessel, damage, spell corrupt dele, damage. Nossa, vai mudar muito aqui, amigo. Ó, você pode ver, ó. PVP vai virar outro PVP, cara. A coisa aqui vai ficar complexa, amigo. Vai ficar complexa. Por isso que eles falou que vão abordar esse tema até num outro tópico, né? Que doideira, amigo. Vou dar uma olhadinha aqui nos vídeos da Funcom aqui, hein? Não, se bem que os vídeos antigos que eu queria olhar não tá aqui não. Eles removeram tudo já. Onze h 31, galera. Meio-dia é o evento, hein? 30 minutos, galera. 30 minutinhos, né? Ah, eu já sei mais ou menos o que vai ser, né? Eles vão lá, vão mostrar o trailer. Ou então, tomara que eles mostrem outro trailer e outras jogabilidades, cara. É o que eu tô esperando, cara. Esse modo de atributo aí que eu quero entender mais. Então, pois é, esse aqui... Acho que eu vou até dar uma olhada nele. Mas eles falaram que vai ter... um especial pra isso aqui, né? Na verdade, vai ter vários tópicos até o dia do lançamento que eles vão abordar. Provavelmente vai ter mais lives também que eles vão fazer, né? Até o dia do lançamento, né? Como eles disseram, né? Vai ter um teste live pro PC. Bom, tem que baixar isso o Conan de novo, cara. Tá louco. Teste live, quem não sabe, você baixa o jogo 2 vezes, cara. Aí um você testa e o outro... 30 minutos avisaram no Twitter que estão prontos. É, amigo. Aonde? Twitch TV, Funcom. Ó, no Funcom YouTube. Opa. Nossa, vai ser na Twitch TV, cara. Estamos ao vivo em apenas 30 minutos com o lead designer David Makes... Dan Make Games... Dennis Doherty e o Spinosaurus Nicole Twitch com Amsterdã e o Andy, coisa que é, só vai ter um desenvolvedor mesmo, só ele aqui. Essa aqui é a desenvolvedora de desenvolvedora não é de marketing. Esse aqui também eu acho que é de marketing. Então, vou dar um clique aqui, vai que mudou o lugar. Olha os jogos da Funcom aí, ó. Quase todos os jogos deles, né? Mas nenhum fez tanto sucesso como Conan Exiles. Não adianta. Não na Funcom, né? Maneirando o som aqui, amigo. No YouTube. Nada. Acho que vai ser só na Twitter mesmo, cara. Eu preferia que fosse no YouTube, cara.
Is probably the biggest update we've ever made. It touches almost every aspect of Conan Exiles.
Bom, eu preferi que fosse no YouTube, cara.
Is probably the biggest update we've ever made. It touches almost every aspect of Conan Exiles.
Fans should absolutely be excited for 3.0.
Uma pena que vai demorar a sair. Quando sair vai mudar tudo. É, mas vai demorar mesmo. Acho que vai demorar, não vai ser muito tempo não. É uns de 1 a 3 meses. Então não deve demorar muito não. Vamos ver uma coisa aqui, pera aí. Sorcery.
Sorcery is absolutely imperative to the world of Conan. When the genre was having its name coined, it literally became half of the name, sword and sorcery.
We've always wanted to add sorcery to the game, but we think it's a part of the game that needs
Salve
to be
Jackson
there to
Porto.
experience Howard's world in full.
A lot of other games
Boa
are
tarde.
fantasy games
Boa tarde
with
não.
a lot
Bom
of
dia ainda, né?
fireworks and
11h30 e
things that you
pouco.
can see coming out of your hands.
to find a way to make it feel more kind of physically grounded, sinister, evil.
Podia bugar ao vivo a live dele.
Focusing and amplifying sorceress energy.
Já saiu?
As you
Tops. Não,
get
saiu
different
não.
power, you'll be building different
Estamos no aguardo, só meio-dia. Ó a invisibilidade, hein? Vai mudar tudo. PVP, o camarada só vai andar mais invisível do que tudo. Nossa, vai ser muito doideira, hein? Rapaz, tô até pensando aqui. Começar a jogar um PVPzinho depois ali. Arrumar um tempinho, pelo menos uma vez por semana. Arrumar um vídeo, pelo menos uma vez por semana. Depois disso aí.
In your base, you'll build a sacrificial stone. You'll drag an unconscious combatant and put them on the stone.
Será que vai ser bom esse mod de coleta de lacaios?
To offer them
Não sei, cara, não sei. Vamos ver, né?
And then the station will open again and you can take the item out.
Tons of different rituals, necromancy, for instance, allows
Sei que eu tô curioso isso aí. Como é que vai fazer, cara? Será que cada um vai ter uma tumba aí na base?
Other rituals we have are integrated into the fast travel system that we're implementing. So we have one that's kind of a set of teleporter pads, and you'll need some blood and some brimstone to fire that pad up.
illusions basically allow you to take
Ó, essa armadura aí é topzera, hein?
and apply a different
Isso aí não curti muito não, mas tirando o capacete, isso aí eu gostei. Só mudar a cor.
but the stats of another, you can apply the look of one to the other. So it allows players to look how they want without sacrificing the stats that they want to have with their equipment.
Ó, saca aí, hein? Olha lá as construçãozinhas que tem nova ali, ó. No mapa. Quer ver, ó? Vou mostrar aqui. Ali, ó. Ó, é uma carroça, cara. É uma carroça aqui igual no Elden Ring, cara. Já tem uns ossos aqui, algumas coisas aqui. Tem uma tenda aqui também, ó. É, amigo, vai mudar muita coisa, hein? Aqui, ó, tenda, olha lá, ó, mais vilinhas nos lugares. Tô achando, cara, que eu acho que vai precisar mesmo dar um rework no Conan na questão do mapa aí, hein? J Gameplay, bom dia a todos, bom dia! Seja bem-vindo.
Blown up the entire system and made a new meta. We have some great surprises, and we are really changing the way that Conan Exiles plays on all of the attributes.
Corruption is a core part of sorcery, so we wanted that to also
As máculas agora vai servir pra alguma coisa, né? Porque antes, vou te falar, a gente só passava raiva. Com mácula.
When your character is exposed to corruption, it'll corrupt their form and their whole physical being. With that power, you can corrupt your physical self in order to gain access to special perks. Once you've reached a certain corruption threshold, your character will be...
Ó, aqui, ó. Acho que ele vai ficar mais monstruoso, né? Personagem. Eu não sei, cara. Eu não sei se eu vou ser adepto da Sorcery, né? Porque provavelmente eu vou ter dois personagens, né? Pra poder modificar aí. Ó, aqui eu falei no vídeo passado. Vai ter umas bancadas. Não sei se isso aqui é bancada. Não sei se isso aqui é lacaio que tá aqui. Não sei. Ou isso aqui é só emotes, né? Ou então alguém mexendo. Isso aqui provavelmente é uma bancada. Ó. Isso aqui me parece que é diferente. Ou não? Bom, acho que não. Olha aí a decoração aí, hein? Ah, os pedreiros tá tudo feliz, hein? Olha essa cadeira aqui, hein? Olha, até que enfim, né? Você vai poder decorar a mesa sua tranquilo, né? Da sua base. Aí, agora sim a mesa é de... Ó, mas também tem uma mesa diferente aqui, né? Uma mesa bem larga, ó. Ó, tem uma outra escrivaninha aqui, sei lá. Acho que isso aqui é DLC do Necromântica. Olha aí. Tartaruga lá de cima tá lá, ó. Como é que ela tá aqui, ó? Tem até fruta aqui, ó. Nossa, tem um monte de coisa, cara. Ó. Oxi. Como é que é isso aqui, hein? Será que pode colocar mais de... Pra poder colocar os lacaios mais perto do outro aqui? Olha lá, tem 1, 2, 3 aqui dentro. Só dentro desse barraquinho aqui, ó.
games have come out that have made us realize a lot more
Ó, tem um aqui, ó.
survival games
Armadura nova, provavelmente essa aqui vai ser gratuita. Essa e a outra.
have come out
Eu acho que essa serpente aqui já existe no jogo, não? Acho que tem uma serpente dessa aqui pra poder de enfeite, não?
that have made us realize, hey, we can do a little bit better.
Truthfully, I think the old building system was a little difficult to use with the gamepad. However, with this new system, it's designed to be used with the gamepad, and I think it's going to be so much easier for people.
It takes all the crafting
11:42,
all
hein?
the building items that you've unlocked and puts them all in one menu.
You can go to the section you want, find the
Ó, isso aqui vai ser uma maravilha aí, ó.
and it's a lot simpler.
Vamos vendo aí, ó. Até que enfim organizar o inventário pra poder construir ou fazer qualquer outra coisa.
Panel, it unlocks all the building pieces, and you can create your perfect home or castle or fortress.
A fundamental change in how you can build in the game.
It'll be really, really easy, I think, for people to build their perfect home.
Tom, a Todd cansado, parece que já tem, já. É, parece mesmo que tem mesmo.
Some building pieces are part of the Battle Pass, and others are going to be in the shop. In the Battle Pass, we have sorcery-themed building pieces, which are built to complement and supplement the existing base building sets.
The main reason we're doing the Battle Pass is so that
Aí, ó,
we can
temível lojinha.
these structures. I'm a strong
A poção que eu falei aqui, ó, cara. Essa poção vai ter alguma utilidade lá no jogo, lá, cara. Tem mostrando ela lá naquela outra matéria que eu mostrei no início do vídeo.
more on the cosmetic side, changing the way you look necessarily and not changing the pattern.
So the battle
Rapaz, essa cena aqui ficou parecendo aquela do Game of Thrones, aqueles cavaleiros lá do gelo lá, cara. Igualzinho, cara. Olha lá. Os cavaleiros lá, os... Esqueci o nome deles, cara. Atônio cansado. Ia lá, Conan Exiles copiando o Cidadela, foge... Foge and Fire.
So the battle pass, you're gonna get
Ah, é igualzinho aquele cavaleiro do Game of Thrones lá, aquele cabuloso lá, ó. Que invade tudo lá, os mortos. Ah, essa cena aqui é em Cipta, ó. Mas engraçado que eles mostraram muito pouco Cipta, né? Tá achando que o maior... Vamos ver se vai mostrar hoje, né? Tomara que mostre mais hoje, Cipta.
The Battle Pass, and the first is to play the game. Every day you'll be given a series of challenges, and when you complete one of those challenges, you claim
Essa ponte aqui já tá inteira, né? Ah, não, tá certo. Essa ponte aqui era inteira mesmo. Aqui é o oásis.
replaced with another one. If you don't want to play to unlock everything in the Battle Pass, you can
Adriano Andrade, bora, rocha!
in increments of 1, 5, and 15.
Boa tarde, Adriano. Quer dizer, bom dia ainda, né? Não é meio-dia?
This time,
Ó, aí, ó. Pedreirada.
15.
Se liga aí, ó. Se liga aí, pedreirada, ó. Ó. Agora os peixes, os porcos. É os animais que são... Que tem no jogo.
Who have
Vão estar nos pratos aí, ó. Ó, provavelmente aqui, ó. Como eu tô falando, ó.
15. So
Eu acho que essa armadura, essa e essas aqui vão ser de graça. Ou não, né? Não sei, né?
that option is there as well.
So we
Uma coisa que tô achando que tá chamando atenção e tomara que eles expliquem é os seguidores. Ainda tá muito vago. É, esse aqui tá vago mesmo.
won't have cosmetic
Mas eles devem explicar isso hoje, cara.
pass with the culture packs. We'll have battle passes and ages.
Ou durante
We are going to have multiple
esse espaço de tempo que eles disseram que vão ter, né?
sorcerer-themed armor and clothing options. Some of them will be in-game.
Aí que eu tô falando, ó. No PVP tem essa questão aqui, né? Até o cara castar a magia, ou então summonar algo, vai demorar um tempo, hein?
and craftable. Others will
Aí o cara já pode descer o machado nele lá enquanto ele faz isso, né? Pode equilibrar as coisas, né?
part of the shop.
We're also adding an item.
Olha aqui, ó. Aqui eles passaram rapidinho, ó. Dá só uma olhadinha aqui, ó. A lojinha, ó. Tá vendendo aqui um kit inteiro de peça. Tá até dando fome essa mesinha. Game on Play. Será que vai mudar o modo de upar até o level 60? Bom, cara, aí não sei, cara. Eu tô querendo começar do zero, né? Vamos ver aqui, ó. Tem umas... Não sei se isso aqui é máscara, o que é isso aqui? Se é skin. Não sei o que é isso. Eu sei que isso aqui é o Conan Shop. É um outro do jogo deles lá. Não sei se isso aqui é mascote, o que é. Agora esse aqui eu não sei se vai... É tintura, né? Pelo jeito. Tem um pincelzinho aqui, ó. Vai ser novas tinturas, ó. Ó, vai ter novas tinturas. Nossa, até tatuagem, cara. Ih... Aqui, ó, tatuagem. O pior se essas tatuagens que der bônus de força, hein? Aí vai virar pay to win, hein? Mas acho que não vai ser, não. Eles falaram que não vai ser. Aqui, os orbes, aí também eu tô curioso com esses orbes aqui. Por que tá até a orbe, cara? Estranho, né? Até orbe de fogo, ou sei lá de que é isso, eles vão vender, cara. Mas por que será? Pra quê? Aqui as armaduras, provavelmente é skin. E aqui tem as criaturas, galera. Será que isso aqui é pet? Tá achando que vai ter até pet, hein? Ó, sei lá, hein? Tô achando que vai ter pet. Será que vai dar pra pintar a base? Bom, a base eu não sei, né? Mas a armadura tá na cara, né? Aquele verde que tá lá na armadura que eles mostram no início lá é provavelmente uma dessas pinturas aqui, cara. Olha aqui em cima aqui, hein? Quem vai atingir isso aqui, ó? Nossa, tá morto, hein? Não sei se tá dando pra ver aí. Acho que não vai dar pra ver não por causa da câmera. Vai estar aqui 9.999,99 aqui o de moeda. Vamos lá. Ah, pera aí, cara.
More of an a la carte option for what they want to the game, and this will allow...
Bom, esse aqui que eu tava meio curioso. Será que eu tô achando que esse aqui é uma peça inteira, né? Porque esse aqui é um arenito. Já é um arenito. Tô achando que você vai comprar a base inteira já feita. Porque esse aqui já é um arenito, esse aqui, cara. Eles iam vender arenito? Não tem como, cara. De gameplay, acho que só eu que fico animado pelo que vai vir. Nada, eu tô animado também. Igual eu falei, tô 85% de animação. Os outros 15% vai depender dessa loja aqui. Olha o pão aqui, ó. O pão tá mofado, hein? Parece também mofado isso aqui, hein? Ó, criatura nova aí. Aí, ó. Caçada selvagem. E doideira. Ah, os eventos globais. Boss global. Ah, tá. Será que é só eu que não fiquei animada? É... Aí não sei. Vai que internamente você tá animada. Vai vir muita coisa grátis aí, cara. O bom é isso. Espero que o Conan mude bastante, chame mais atenção pra jogar ele, não ficar só entrando para restaurar a base e sair. Os eventos e as coisas que vai ter é pra isso mesmo. Ó, tem que ficar de olho na hora, eles não começam, eu fico aqui vendo o trailer. Já quero esse cavalo do Morro dos Mortos. Esse aqui é um dos milhões mesmo. Olha essa magia louca aqui, ó. Quer ver, ó? Olha. Galera do PVP, nossa, vai dar isso aqui, galera, ó. Pá. Tá igual o último online, cara, tá louco. Ó. Até agora só mostraram esses 3 cavalos, hein. O morcego vai ter uma função, até que enfim. Meio esquisita, mas vai ter, né? Vamos lá, Funcom. Vamos ver o que é. Bom, pelo jeito aqui não vai ter live aqui não, hein? Tô achando que vai ser aqui, hein? Será que essa... Será que essa nova atualização pode acontecer de voltar tudo zero? Construção, level, tudo? Bom, não sei, cara. Vamos saber. Não sei se eles vão explicar isso hoje. Tem mais dúvidas do que respostas, né? Quando a gente vai ter que... O problema é que vai estar em inglês ainda, né, cara? Aí a gente vai ter que especular depois ainda, ver. Se for resetar tudo, não ligo, começar do zero. Eu também não ligo muito não, cara, pra resetar tudo não. É preferível resetar do que bugar, né? Mas vai demorar ainda pra você fazer isso. Caso for resetar. Vai ter o teste live ainda, já avisaram. O jogador tudo dividido. Os não magia, os PVZeiros, os roleplay. Não apaga minha base dos 100 anos. Rui Nogueira, espero que tenha mamute como elefante, como montaria. Eu também acharia que da hora, cara, se tivesse. Cara. Mas provavelmente que eles vão criar algo pro mamute, sim. Isso aí já tá escrito nas estrelas. Bora, 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 Funcom. Falta 5 minutos, hein? 6. Tô cansado, eu prefiro também que resete. Eu também, cara. Eu tô com medo dos bugs, cara. Por isso que eu prefiro que reseta. Funcom, vocês sabem, né? É o rei do bug. Acrescenta os Yeti nessa soma. Ah, será os Yeti? Poderiam resetar também, não me importaria, mas poderia deixar o personagem como está. Carlos Abreu. O Carlos Darken aí. Carlos, os personagens provável que vai ficar com o level que tá assim. Eu também preferia que resetasse, cara, porque, cara, a Funcom vai bugar o jogo, cara. Se eles lançar coisas que crescem dentro do jogo ali, sei lá, cara, aí é pior. Imagina, tu adquire um item lá legal, tal, aí quando buga o jogo lá, eles vão ter que fazer um wipe, sei lá o que, por aí vai, sei lá, hein, não sei. Eu quero é o bug ao vivo. Falar nisso, vamos olhar aqui, cara. Cadê a transmissão, Funcom? 4 minutos. Resetar, eu tenho uma pega minha base. é. É isso aí, ó. Vai ficar dividido o público, hein, se acontecer isso, hein. Já vai trabalhando o desapego. Montar na mãe Ruba e sair voando, seria top. Mas pior que a mãe Ruba não sai voando. Aquele dragão lá parece... Sei lá, que dragão lá é meio louco, hein? Parece dragão não, hein? Dragão nem asa tem. Bruno F. Soares, bom dia. Bora, bora, bora. Funcom, cadê o evento? Três minutos. Deixa eu entrar lá no deles aqui que é mais fácil. Leandro Caneia. Quais as novas? Nenhuma ainda, Evandro. Leandro. Tá pra sair ainda, ó, hein? Falta 2 minutos, hein? Michael Silva poderia dar uma repaginada nos personagens. Tipo, mais opção na hora de editar os personagens. Também acho, também. Também acho que deveria fazer isso, cara. Mas agora que esse negócio de passe de batalha, loja, essas coisas, é capaz de ter opção pra isso, tá? Patrocinado, cabrão, a mãe Ruba nem asas tem. Pois é. Aquela mãe Ruba, ela nem parece um dragão, cara. Opa, opa, opa! Nice! Aí sim, hein? Ó, o Coninha, só emoção, hein? Olha lá, ó. 920 espectadores. Moisés Silva, eu reparei isso já há um tempo, já que foi abandonado mesmo, cara. Vamos ver no YouTube, vocês estão lá no YouTube também. Não estão no YouTube. Então nem vou tentar no YouTube. Opa, opa! Achei que tinha drops, cara. Até assustei que não apareceu aqui em cima, que eu achei que tinha drops, hein. Mas com certeza no futuro vai ter drops, hein. Nossa, olha só a galera chegando aqui, ó. Ó. 1328. Rapaz, quando lançar esse update, vocês preparam o lag aí, tá? Que ó, o negócio vai ficar tenso, hein? Mil 1.627 espectadores. Opa, opa, ó, acabou a música. Vai começar.
3.0 3.0 is probably the biggest update we've ever made. It touches almost every aspect of Conan Exiles.
Nice.
Fans should absolutely be excited for 3.0. It is a major patch. It includes sorcery.
Sword and sorcery.
Flávio Teodoro, sou novo no Conan, joga há 6 meses. Você tá de parabéns com os seus conteúdos. Valeu, Flávio. Seja bem-vindo. Muito obrigado, Flávio.
Perks and attributes revamp.
Michel Marques, reset nos servidores, choro vai ser livre. Opa, opa, opa. Acho que eles vão mostrar o trailer de novo primeiro, né? É, eles vão mostrar o trailer de novo primeiro.
Sorcery is absolutely imperative to the world of Conan. When the genre was having its name coined, it literally became half of the name, sword and sorcery.
We've always wanted to add sorcery to the game.
Olha o cara castando a magia aí, ó.
Needs to be there to experience Howard's world in full.
O que vai ter de glitch com essas magias.
And they focus a lot on fireballs and things that you can see coming out of your hands.
We wanted to find a way to make it feel more kind of physically grounded, sinister and evil. It's more about focusing and amplifying sorceress energy.
And as you select different words of power, you'll be building different spells.
Ó, invisibilidade. Olha isso aí.
Sorcery is broken up into two different parts. There's rituals and spells. Rituals are more...
Flávio Teodoro, poder abrir mais servidores com a nova atualização. É, tem que abrir. Se não abrir, vai entupir. É 40-40 lá, ó.
A crafting station at your base in order to make something, build something.
In your base, you'll build a sacrificial stone. You'll drag an unconscious combatant and put them on the stone. And there will be a ritual recipe in that crafting station to offer them as a sacrifice. Perform a ritual, draw their blood, and then the station...
We win here 11, bora, bora!
Tons of different rituals. Necromancy, for instance, allows you to summon the dead or create undead mounts.
A couple other rituals we have are integrated into the fast travel system that we're implementing. So we have one that's kind of a set of teleporter pads, and you'll need some blood and some brimstone to fire that pad up.
Illusions basically allow you to take...
Ó, essa armadura aí tá na lista.
And apply a different look to it. So if you're able to craft two different pieces, and you like the look of one, but the stats of another, you can apply the look of one to the other. So it allows players to look how they want without sacrificing the stats that they want to have with their equipment.
Perks e atributos. Isso aí tem que ter um vídeo depois só pra isso aí, os caras tem que falar.
Address all the perks that we felt were sort of underperforming and sort of give them a facelift.
Essentially, we've blown up the entire system and made a new meta. We have some great surprises, and we are really changing the way that Conan Exiles plays on all of the attributes.
Corruption is a core part of sorcery, so we wanted that to also impact the attribute system. When your character is exposed
De
to
bárbaro pra mago,
it'll corrupt their
implacável.
form and their whole physical
O
being.
Michel Marques, você
With
tá
that
animado
power,
com o
you can
mago aí.
corrupt your physical self in order to
Acho que
gain
nem mago,
access
né?
to special
Sorcery, né?
perks. Once you've reached a certain corruption threshold, your character will
Quase a
be able
mesma
to
coisa.
corrupt their strength, their vitality, or their charisma into improving
Acho que o mago ainda usa magias mais boas, né? Good Magic. O Sorcerer é mais Evil Magic.
When we first started working on the game, we
Ó,
implemented the
aí a
building
mesinha aí que eu
system
mostrei.
in a particular way.
But since then, a lot more survival games have come out that have made us realize, hey, we can do a little bit better.
Truthfully, I think the old building system was a little difficult to use with the gamepad. However, with this new system, it's designed to be used with the gamepad, and I think it's going to be so much easier for people.
It takes all the crafting recipes, all the building items that you've unlocked, and puts them all in one.
Rapaz, aquela árvore ali, rapaz, é uma lasca, hein?
Find the piece you
Acho que é na
want,
floresta,
it's
né?
a lot simpler.
Nunca vi aquela árvore, nunca prestei atenção nela.
Creative mode is incredible. You get this admin panel, it unlocks all the building pieces, and you can create your perfect home or castle or fortress.
A fundamental change in how you can build in the game.
It'll be really, really easy, I think, for people to build their perfect home.
What a pass in
Some
game
new building
story.
pieces are part of the battle pass, and others are going to be in the shop. In the battle pass, we have sorcery-themed building pieces, which are built to complement and supplement the existing base building sets.
The main reason we're doing the Battle Pass is so that we can continue to release free features. I'm a strong believer that monetization should be more on the cosmetic side, changing the way you look necessarily and not changing the power of things.
So
Moisés Silva Barbosa, será que vai ter classe ou qualquer um vai poder usar tudo?
Weapons, mounts, builds.
Eu acho que vai... Qualquer um vai poder usar tudo, hein?
There are two ways to progress through the Battle Pass, and the first is to play the game. Every day you'll be given a series of challenges, and when you complete
Rui Nogueira, bacana se eles colocassem uma forma de ligar o exílio com o Cipta. Pode ocorrer por causa daquele lance do teleporte que eles criaram nessa atualização, que vai ter o teleporte. Pode ser que tenha uma ligação com o Cipta. Agora o curioso é que eles mostraram muito pouca Cipta aqui, né, nesse trailer. Eles mostraram muito pouco Cipta, mostraram mais o exílio. 2.789 espectadores. Não, acho que a Funcom vai chamar a atenção, tá? Lucas, o PVP do Conan vai ser pra chorar mesmo, amigo. Só vai dar sorcery.
Conan Exiles, we're trying to make the kind of game that we feel like our players want to play.
Espero que usar tudo no sistema de classe é bem ruim.
Definitely follow our Conan Exiles Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that.
Thank you all for all of your support and for playing our game and enjoying it.
And I hope all of you have a great
Vai acabar o trailer, vamos ver como que eles vão iniciar, hein?
dark evil rituals and become the
Prepara aí, galera. Opa!
Greetings and salutations, friends, and thank you for joining us for the official talk of all things Update 3.0 Age of Sorcery. My name is Andy Bendit.
I'm Nicole.
Dennis.
And we are here live in the Durham, North Carolina studio. It actually has been quite some time. I think our last stream
Oh
was
my
a few months
God.
ago, so I'm just like,
It was a while. Yeah.
It's been a while.
just trying to get back into the saddle. I haven't been in front of the camera in a little while, so pardon me if I'm a little.
Oh, it's an exciting time though.
Yeah, plus like, yeah, this is an exciting, like, this will be an exciting stream, this will be an exciting
Ó, o
time.
cara tá com a camisa de Cipta ali, ó, Isla of
A
Cipta.
bunch of details about
E o outro tá com a do
all
Exílios.
things with this update, and working to, of course, pick up on any questions you might have in chat, or
I'm sure
things
there's
that
a lot of them.
plenty. I'm sure there were plenty. We saw plenty over the weekend as well, and so we'll work to certainly address as much as we can. During the stream, we're gonna go over a lot. So like, buckle in. This might be a long stream. We were originally planning like maybe like an hour, hour and a half. Don't be surprised if we go over like 2 hours at this point. But yeah, so today.
É,
we'll be going over
infelizmente é só em inglês, Josinaldo.
coming up,
Se ainda tivesse o... Por isso que eu queria ir no YouTube, cara.
2022. We'll be
No
talking
YouTube,
about,
dava pra colocar a tradução.
that works,
Não tradução automática, né? Mas dava pra colocar pelo menos a tradução em inglês. Dava pra entender mais ou menos.
revamped
Que tava falando ali em inglês.
the Battle Pass and the Black Lotus
Ele falando,
not
eu
necessarily.
não consigo entender muita coisa, não.
Yeah, we'll of course take some
Eu sei que ele tá falando do Battle Pass agora, da lojinha.
chat or things that we've seen.
Tá explicando que...
We'll go from there. This is a really exciting time. Thanks for joining us.
É, acabo de falar.
Any forward from you, friend, before we jump into things?
Yeah. So we know there's going to be a lot of questions about this, and if it looks like I'm reading off.
Ah, eles estão questionando sobre o Battle Pass aí, ó.
Get anything wrong.
Tá no YouTube? Deixa eu dar uma olhada lá pra me ver.
For a lot of people, can be touchy. So to talk about the Battle Pass and the Bazaar to begin with, as we started to get into the features that we're putting into this update, we decided that we had to have a new monetization method for Exiles. We knew that if we made Exiles, it had to be free. Or sorry, if we made Sorcery,
Ah, não liberou a
it
legenda.
had to be for everybody. So we didn't want to have to make a DLC and ask you to pay for a feature that should. So we didn't want to have to make a DLC and ask you to pay for a feature that should be part of the core fantasy of the game. So we decided we'd have to create an update that can both ship the sorcery and generate revenue at the same time. And we
Eles não liberaram a legenda, mas ele tá falando do Battle Pass aqui ainda, da monetização.
we do want to move Exiles into being more of a full.
Tá explicando o porquê da monetização no Conan.
And this helps meet that end. So if you're an Exiles player now,
Ó, então, o Conan Exiles joga agora
ways when it comes to DLC for you to get your hands on new
uma forma de conseguir DLC,
culture packs that give you an assortment of armor and building pieces and other
É,
miscellaneous
conseguir
cosmetics.
construções de peso.
There's a lot of opportunity to invest more in the game that you want to
É
play.
uma oportunidade de investir mais no jogo.
Offer more items and
É, pra
also
quem.
and let you pick and choose the things that
Ah,
you
é.
actually want.
Nossa.
So whenever a new pack of stuff comes out,
É muito rápido que eles falam.
the building pieces and you just like to get the armor or the weapons, and that'll be a choice with these
Paulo Marx.
pathways.
Salve, mano. Tranquilo, amigo.
Nothing will prevent
Seja
you from
bem-vindo.
experiencing any content in the game. Will not sell power in the shop of any kind. It'll only be novelties, and there's no need to buy anything if you don't want to. I've put a lot of effort into this personally to make it as non-intrusive or non-invasive as possible. And we'll go over more of the details of all these things as we get into it more as well.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, something I kind of wanted to point out also is that it's actually like super like non-intrusive. The battle pass stuff is like it's just like in a corner of the screen.
Ó, ele falou ali que quem gostou do Battle Pass, dá um like, quem não gostou.
And like I'll be looking
Let's
down
see.
a lot. I've got my
Yeah,
laptop here, reading everybody's chat. We also have some of the community team in chat, so they'll be there to help with any questions as well.
So let's see how this works. Okay, so here is what the battle pass.
Opa.
This in the trailer that we just aired. Dennis, can you walk us through like kind of what we're looking for, clarify things, or if there are any questions that we had seen previously?
Ó, pet.
Touch on from here.
Yeah, I think the first thing to talk about is just like a tiny disclaimer that all the stuff that's in the
Olha o que eles vão dar de graça aqui, ó.
are still a work in progress. So we have a little disclaimer in the corner of the stream. We had to, make the trailer to show everything to everyone to get them excited about it, but a lot of the details that
Alan Jones.
check out will be
Bem-vindo.
a little
Outro
bit
já tava aí.
what they would be in the end.
Acho que já tava aí, né?
A lot of things-
Tanta gente. Valeu, Alan.
shop itself is like, are these the prices
Jean Marques da Silva, olá.
themselves are even still a work in
Salve, Jean.
I had a conversation about it just this morning briefly. But yeah, looking at the battle pass, what we're seeing here is
É, eles vão focar no Battle Pass aí, galera.
similar to what you would see in a battle pass in other games, where you have a series of rewards, you interact with the game, and you engage with the systems like you normally would to receive the rewards in the battle pass.
Nossa, vai ter emote.
And get that experience from finishing the challenges, you'll unlock battle pass levels, and those levels will let you claim the rewards if you own the battle pass. If you don't own the battle pass, there will still be about 20
Aí, aquele esquema que eu falei da pintura. É aquilo mesmo que eu falei do Battle Pass.
So even if you're not
Porém, essa poção aí, deixa eu ver. Drink.
rewards, there's still some little novel things you
Passou rápido.
And then yeah, like you can see, like so these are the first
Prepara o
two
bolso.
pages of the battle
É por aí
passes, and you can
mesmo.
see, a few examples of the items that are
Depende, né? Depende do valor, né?
You don't need to actually like have the battle pass if you want to like level up your pass and like get those, for example. And then yeah, all this stuff is accessible from like the very.
Ó, eles vão dar um tapa-olho de graça.
So it's just
Olha lá, ó,
it's just
free.
an option that you can just select once you go to that menu.
I can go into a bit about the structure of the battle pass also.
Sure.
The way that we'll lay things out. So whenever we decided again that
Ainda bem que não é pra agora, tem tempo de juntar dinheiro. Miguel Marques. É, amigo, o problema é que vai ser direto, né? Mas vai ter a opção DLC também. Eles vão mostrar aqui.
There will be a series of tableaus that unfold and tell a story about something that has happened or happening in one of the maps. So the current one for Age of Sorcery is a series of events that is occurring in the exiled lands. And as you go through and complete the different pages of the Battle Pass, the little text doc, there's a little scroll up in the corner and some text will reveal and kind of lead you along what the story is.
Poder pintar a estrutura da base vai ser incrível.
Okay, you can't.
É, vai ser da hora, cara.
Way in the top left of our screen there, you can see it's a bunch of gibberish, but that will start materializing into legible language as you complete more of the battle pass.
Yeah, to go along with the idea of
Os caras deviam ter liberado a tradução aqui embaixo, cara.
It's kind of a sort of archaic or like otherworldly kind of language, I suppose. And as you're unlocking this experience in the battle pass, you're gaining the knowledge to read the runes. And so the structure for the battle pass is going to be such that we have ages, like Age of Sorcery, and then each age will be broken down into several chapters. And those chapters will be where we hit the big content updates. With each one of those chapters, we'll not only be adding new things in the shop and new rewards in the battle pass, but we will be adding new playable content or major updates to existing content at the same time. So whenever we do an update, it's not just going to be, oh, here's more stuff to buy. It's going to be, okay, here's also some new stuff to do. So that's the way we'd like to follow through with that going forward.
Yeah, and all those like major gameplay features, like we're committing to not having
Skypeira.
that will be just added to the game as like part of the
Rival
base
para
game.
todos da live.
Like you don't have to buy anything.
Veremos se o server aguentar tudo que queremos colocar. Tem isso também, né?
We do add, like, that'll be available.
Só as construções travam tudo.
Yeah, a big part of the reason we wanted to go down this route is because
Luciano Rodrigues, não tem como ativar, eles não liberaram, eles tinham que eles mesmos liberar.
and then that helps us actually fund
A automática.
game, so we can make all of our other features coming out free for everybody and really justify continuing to support Conan Exiles because it's a game.
Bora gastar. Tá doido.
And we want to keep adding stuff to it, but we have to be able to justify it at the end of the day, you know. Like Andy said, we have to keep the lights.
Bom, essa lojinha tá bem fraca, hein? Mostrou nada ainda incrível não, hein?
All sorts of people working here. But at the end of the day, yeah, we got to keep the lights on, gotta stay fed, etc., etc. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And so next I wanted to touch into
O próximo,
you mentioned how challenges. That is
challenge.
the primary method of how one would level up the battle pass, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll swap over to this. Cool.
é isso mesmo, calhante.
Details for challenges as well. I know like a lot of questions have been raised about them already as well, and I have a list of some stuff that I'd like to go through just so I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
The battle pass can be the battle pass can be progressed by completing challenges. Challenges give battle pass experience and levels, and as you progress through the battle pass levels, you can claim.
Vai ter o
I mentioned before.
tô de cansado. Vai ter moeda grátis sim com tem o
And if you don't own the
a
battle pass,
parte
you can
free
claim about 12 of those rewards, like I
dos
mentioned.
calhenge.
Owning the battle pass lets you claim everything at no
Acho que é
additional
calhenge
cost.
mesmo.
So there is a cost to purchase the battle pass, and once you spend that amount of money, you'll be able to claim everything for each level that you unlock.
Pois é, os caras faziam uma live de apresentação sem legenda e complica, né?
That all it does on top of the normal battle pass is grant you 15 additional levels. So as soon as you buy it, you get 15 unlocks right away.
Ó o reset aqui, ó, 17 horas e 33 minutos. Vai ter que entrar todo dia no jogo, galera.
There's no increased grind after you use that. You can also buy additional levels with Chrome coins.
Agora vai ter play no Conan. Você vai ter que entrar todo dia. Quem quiser resgatar as moedinhas, vai ter que estar lá, hein?
Every 24 hours, you'll get XP multipliers on each slot that's available to you. So you can continue to complete those challenges for normal XP once those multipliers are gone. So that 2x times 150, 2x times 30, etc. that you see at the top, those are the multipliers you get. And you get 5 a day, like I said. It can pull up to 20 in the back end as well. So you can miss 4 days of playing the game, come back, and still have 25 total multipliers to be able to go through.
Bom, por enquanto, o primeiro tópico deles foi a loja, né? O sistema polêmico que tá sendo, né? Provavelmente após isso vai vir o conteúdo em game, né?
So those are dice now.
Yeah, the icon in the video was temporary.
Re-roll calente, cara. Só espero que não seja predatório aquilo ali não, cara. Agora que eu tô vendo aquilo ali. Tinha até me esquecido daquilo. Não seja jogo de azar. Se for, eu acho que não é não.
I changed that text to say XP multipliers remaining because it sounds less like something that you can buy. And we don't really want the people to have the illusion that we're just trying to nickel and dime people and, you know, hit you with.
Tinha que fazer um reset pra limpar o mapa perto da minha base, tá uma bagunça louca, os play tudo amontoado. É, Carlos, eu tô achando que pode ser que vai acontecer um reset sim, hein.
So yeah, and then in addition to that, so like there's the multipliers, but then once you use up your day's multipliers, like you can still like infinitely complete challenges.
Yeah, if that's the thing that like you're motivated to do because it gives you a goal or something you want to do, the challenges are there for you to keep going through them.
Dê um trocado para seu barbo exílio abundante. Oh.
So I know some people have already done the math to try to figure out how long it would take you to finish the battle pass.
Será que vão aguentar isso tudo sem travar demais? Ah, não sei. O problema acho que é mais na antiga geração, né?
comes out.
Yeah, it's all subject to change still anyway.
There's that, and the multipliers are going to be 10x by default.
A outra tá querendo que o jogo fale aí, ó. Por mim podia falir o jogo.
Based on the release video, the teaser video.
Sei lá, acho que agora o Conan vai,
We
ó.
also have information on how long we expect it to take to complete the battle pass, but I'll get to that when I get to it in my notes. The battle pass can be completed purely by finishing challenges, so you'll never be asked to pay again after you buy the battle pass. If you complete the majority of the battle pass,
Ah, tem uma solução aí, é só liberar uns 50 hecatombe, um atrás do outro aí, né? Acabou um, já libera mais 49. Aí pronto.
Theoretically, if you buy one battle pass the first time and you complete all of them up to that point that you participate in, you will always get your Crom coins back and be able to buy the next one at no additional cost. It's like you buy the battle pass once, as long as you don't spend those Crom coins, you can keep buying each successive battle pass. And
Vamos, quero ver a outra parte aí.
That everyone makes in the battle pass. If we feel it's taking too long for too many people, we can tweak the XP multiplier on challenges or the XP values in the back end and speed things up for people to help them.
And that will
get...
require like a patch or whatever.
That's right. It'll be a change on our side that just automatically goes out to everybody. When you get new challenges, you'll get the new data and you'll be able to keep up with everybody else. We base the amount of time needed to complete the battle pass on someone being active twice a week for at least an hour per session. So most of the challenges you get will be completed when playing normally, and you'll get, if you get challenges that you don't think you complete, that option to reroll is there as well. I believe right now we give 3 rerolls per day, and 1 reroll changes all of the challenges. So if there's something in that list of 5 that, or anything in that list of 5 doesn't suit what you want to do, you have 3 chances a day to just complete.
Ali, ó, craft uma weapon. Esse que desceu os challenges simples.
That's more suited to what you might want to do. And I think that's pretty much the majority of what I have to say about the challenges at the moment.
Cool.
There's a lot of, you know, one of the notes you left was there's a lot of really cool exclusive rewards like war paints, wall sprays, placeables.
É, se eles não cagarem nessa atualização, vai ter um reviravolta.
There's a lot of awesome stuff in there.
Yeah.
Mas se cagarem,
Wall sprays are new, right?
a cova é funda.
A really quick little R&D thing we did where we were like, hey, it would be cool to be able to place decals on the wall or on the floor, or, you know, just be able to decorate more. So it's kind of just a little thing you make at the dyer station and the bench, and you can just spray like an image of a rhino on a wall or something like
Sweet.
that.
Nice.
Sweet.
Oh,
Nice.
So item illusions are a really big thing to talk about. Right?
Yes, we can talk about that. Let me pull that up. Actually, that's under my other stuff. But let's show that off now.
And we have a lot of questions, and we'll probably answer. I mean, not all of them, but as we go through. But
Vamos, Funcom. Até agora, nada que a gente não já sabe.
Yes, certainly. I think, and then certainly we'll
Facada no peito.
answer questions.
É, lojinha.
As we're progressing through
E jogar
our
sem
points,
parar. Opa, opa,
hopefully
opa.
we're able to answer some questions that may have already come
Ó,
up. But if you see anything particularly pertinent or being asked,
começou o gameplay. Essa aí que é a hora boa.
then we can.
Ih, rapaz, ó, máscara diferente ali, hein.
there's one in particular that
Prepara o bolso aí, hein.
is just official, or if it's also for private.
Olha só que o menu diferentão, hein.
The shop will be on
Olha lá a combinação, cara.
They'll be on official servers, private servers, modded servers.
Ah, vai ter transmog, ó.
No matter where
Vai ter
you
transmog, galera.
participate in the battle pass and purchase things from the shop if you want to.
Olha lá, ó. Se comprar uma arma no Battle... Se ganhar ela na lojinha, né?
Coming, weapon illusion.
Você vai poder... É uma skin. É uma skin.
Just actually
É, bem dizer, uma skin.
okay. So we're adding an illusion system to the game, and so
Ó, tem uma marretinha legal ali, hein.
you can build. I believe it's called the Thaumaturgy bench.
Tá uma...
You
Tá
can,
uma bench. Mas
make
que mesinha
a
vagabundinha, hein.
weapon look like a different weapon. Now,
Ó
there
lá,
are some
combinação.
restrictions to that. They have to be of a like type. So like you can't make a short sword
Illusion.
like an axe
O nome
or
desse
like a hammer or something.
transmog
And I believe,
é Illusion.
correct me if I'm wrong, you have to be able to craft the item that you
Ó.
want to take the appearance of normally.
Yeah, there's a slight caveat. You do have to be able to craft the item that you want to use the appearance of, unless you use one of the illusion items that we've made. So one of the things that you might get for free in the shop or in the battle pass.
Ó, a máscarazinha. Vamos ver se vai ter com roupa também. Por enquanto só arma, né?
Check out. We can make a version of it that you can use in the thaumaturgy bench.
É igual no Assassin's Creed tem lá, ó. Você pode usar uma arma com a skin de outra.
These items aren't compatible.
Yeah, because I'm trying to take
you don't know how to.
Well, it's because it's a different type of weapon. So I'm taking I'm taking a steel sword, short sword, and trying to make it look like the Yamatai Naginata, different types of weapons. But then I take the appearance of the Yamatai Assassin's Blade, which is a one-handed sword, which then can take the appearance, for example.
So that's the only restriction is it has to be, like Andy said, the same type. You can make any.
Vou fazer minha boneca.
You can make any chest piece look like any chest piece. All you have to do is know how to make this bench and know how to make the items that you want to combine.
Vamos lá, mostra mais aí.
But,
Queremos ver mais.
So that's a cool thing that we're going to be adding, and then also like kind of gives us extra options to like throw in as goodies here and there. Also, like if you know, really make some like really cool weapons in the future, something like that, we can just like potentially just like have the illusion items in addition to like actual crafting recipes or something like that. Just as an example, but this will be a system that will launch with.
Opa, apareceu uma armadilha ali, hein? Vocês viram ali? Do lado direito?
Everyone just leaving now.
Salve, Rogério! Tamo de boa aí.
We'll have less people, right? But while everyone's still here, our monetization expert wanted me to chime in and say that the amount of time we base our play sessions on being 1 hour is not.
Será que teremos skin diferente para os lacais? Os lacais eu acho que não, mas para as armaduras deles vai. É, as mesmas que a gente usa, né, no caso. Ah lá, tem uma armadilha ali, ó. Diferente ali, ó. De urso. Eu não sei se tem no jogo. Eu vi incípito essa armadilha de urso. Mas deve servir pra pegar play também. Apareceu ali, ó. A armadilha, o Atom cansado. Opa, vamos ver.
FPO stands for for placement only. It's just a placeholder.
Item story.
Work in progress.
Yeah, it's all work in progress. Like that's it's not some anyway. Yeah, it just means placeholder. So yeah, this is certainly something that another thing that we've seen plenty of comments about, and so we're hoping to be able to allay any concerns you might have about just how this works.
Já notaram que os lacais não tem barba? Eles vão vender, né? A barba, né? Lacai zumbi, será que vai ter? Vai. Já mostraram ali. Acho que você vai ter que summonar ele.
Have everyone have their eyes on it. It makes more sense for us to just be able to show a few items at a time and be able to really showcase how cool they are. Because like with a lot of these, you can see we've got some really cool
Sandstone set 1.
Like the sandstone set at the bottom is.
Ó, o que eu falei ali agora, ó.
Sorry, I'm just like.
Ó. Mostra pra nós como que é. Eu quero saber o que é isso aí, amigo. Mostra aí. Se é a base inteira. Me parece que é um set completo mesmo, hein? É, galera, quem não quiser construir, tá aí, ó. Pra poder comprar a casa inteira.
Armor sets, placeables, building pieces, emotes, and the like. It'll rotate out based on the size of the preview in the shop. So the Big Daddy preview, this one lasts 30 days. The medium-sized ones over here will cycle.
Nossa, aí o cara vai comprar uma Sandstone set, a mesa, as decoração, as armas, os bancos e os banners.
Like we've said before, we'll never sell power in the shop. Any items like weapons or armor that you get from the battle pass or from the shop will have similar stats.
Ou não, né? Às vezes é barato, às vezes é um preço de DLC normal, né?
They kind of just sit along that iron tier, and then you get an epic version that you can make as well.
It's like the star metal tier or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the plan. We don't plan to sell.
Mostra aí.
Make anyone any stronger through the battle pass or the shop. It's all novelty. It's all cosmetic. It's all for fun.
And then one thing I know that came up also was when we rotate items, like they're not gone. Like the sale of the item or whatever is just being rotated. Like items will come back in rotation, like as you know, discounted or whatever over time. Like it's never going to be like, oh, if you don't get this in now in 40, like one of these small ones, like it'll come back at some point.
Yeah,
just like any other sale, like in the world. So
I know some people ask too if because we're going to these like shops in Battle Pass that we own, if we would still have sales or discounts. But yeah, there will be sales on items in the shop and going forward.
O povo aí, o povo tá de olho na decoração, cara. É, não, hein? Os pedreiros exílios tá tudo de olho na decoração.
Yes, yeah, I don't have any of that loaded up. I mean, eventually, y'all will see it. So again, yeah, like
não, eu acho que não é só as peças não, sei lá, hein. Tinha uma Sandstone 7.2, parede de arenito, cara.
Hope that helps. Cool, great. That's a lot of nitty-gritty housekeeping stuff. And a lot of exciting stuff. I know it's like edge of your seat, riveting experience.
I guess before we move on from the shop and battle pass stuff, there's actually more notes that I didn't work into.
Vamos, galera, vamos mostrar conteúdo. Já mostrou o Battle Pass aí, ó. Aos montes. A galera já tá... O psicológico dela já se transformou já pro... Já tá ciente da... Opa!
The seasons that come in, sorry, not the ages will be in place for usually probably around 2 to 3 chapters, and each chapter is what will be up.
Pois é, mas enrola pra caramba.
So you have those, those 13 weeks to get the battle pass, get through everything that's in there, and
39,80 que me segura.
So that's kind of the update cadence you can expect for features as well. So whenever we add that new battle pass, like I mentioned before, we'll also be adding new content, new features, new things to do at the same time. Already touched on battle passes and challenges being available on all server types. The battle pass and the shop are intended to replace the old DLC packs going forward. So if we make new culture packs or new maps, we'd always like this to be the platform that we deliver it through. I know a lot of people had that question. I think that's kind of where the question of, will I still be able to get things on sale came from.
Yeah.
I also have one question.
Yeah.
There is a question if the Battle Pass rewards are account-based per server.
I saw a comment about that on YouTube as well. It was literally my next bullet point.
Oh, great.
I saw a comment on YouTube saying that they hope things that you pay for will be account-bound, and that will be the case.
Pera, se quebrar um item e comprei na loja, vou ter que fazer outro ou comprar outro? Não, provavelmente o Demon Cycle. Você vai ganhar a receita e fabricar o item, né? Vai faltar espaço pros deuses do Egito no mapa, hein?
That one stack or whatever of an item, for example, on that new character.
The consumable things that you claim, you can't get those again. So whenever you say you complete one of the free tiers in the battle pass and it gives you a cool like sword illusion, you claim that on that character, and that's the only time you can claim that. You can't go back and start the battle pass again. You get that item once, you get to see it, and it's gone after you're done using it. But everything else will always be there.
Cool.
And
Bora, Funcom. Bora, mostra mais aí, ó.
I lose my train of thought every 3 seconds now, so I get you.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, we'll wake up in a cold sweat and just be like, no! That's what I wanted to say, and just like frenetically, just like tweet.
Yeah.
Rogue on the Exiles account.
Pedreiro Exiles 3.0.
I actually did remember. We added a new tab in what you guys know now is the feats menu. We've renamed the knowledge menu to make it more streamlined with the rest of the language around the system. So
agora é capaz dos mapas virarem um Sin City, tanto que você...
called ancestral knowledge. It has all of the stuff that you'll ever get from the shop and the battle pass all in one place.
Oh, cool.
So you'll see when you make a new character.
Vai nada, tem as regras da Funcom aí, ó. Em limites.
Very good. Nice and streamlined. I like it.
Dessa vez vai ter até base no deserto.
Sweet, yeah. I mean, were there any hot questions that we wanted to try and answer real quick before we get into the good stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's one question that's like basically, is the update going to come out to PC and console at the same date?
That's our plan at the moment. So as we've done most recently, in the past, we're trying to keep everything in parity. So that's what we're pushing for. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, and like, unforeseen things can and often do happen. So like, you know, the intent is that we'll make sure that it's all like released all at the same time. But you know, if something comes up that we're not like, we didn't see ahead of time, like, you know, we'll let you know. Of course, we'll keep you updated on anything like that.
Vamos.
All right. So
What's next?
what's next? Okay. What do we want to talk about next?
Magic.
Okay.
Yay!
We can do that.
It's time.
It's time, folks.
Wow.
So yeah. The next update, as you might have guessed by this point, with it being titled The Age of Sorcery,
What could it mean?
includes sorcery.
It's Vader time.
Oh yes, it's time. As I just choked Twitch chat.
Tem que enfim aí, vambora. Mostra aí.
Sorcery was a really important like feature that we wanted to work into Conan Exiles for a very long time. It was one of our old OG promised features from back in early access, and we're finally able to make good on that.
Acho que eles vão mostrar o gameplay do Sorcery.
A lot of care to make sure that sorcery in Conan Exiles is represented in the way as accurate as possible to Howard's original work. So like, you know, historically throughout the Conan like fiction, it tends to be much more like, so like the world itself tends to be much more of like a low fantasy fare. Yeah, it's very dark. Sorcery in general tends to be relatively seldom seen and is considered exceptionally dangerous to both people being affected by it and perhaps the caster or user if they're not experienced in their craft or if they're careless or reckless. As with many things regarding, you know, once you get a taste of, you know, extra dimensional power, when you have like the fabric of reality like at your fingertips, power is addicting, and so you just want more. And so oftentimes sorcerers in the fiction are depicted as like power hungry.
One might say corrupt.
One might say
Right.
corrupted, indeed. Where's this thing that I had? Hold on.
You're telling me there's no broomstick riding?
No, there's no broomstick riding. There will not be. And so like.
Vamos Funcom, quero ver aí, ó. Quero ver o Sorcery em ação.
Feature like walking artillery units. You know, you're not going to be launching. Where the heck? I'm sorry. I'm looking through this thing right now and I can't.
I'll talk about it while he does
Anyway,
that.
yeah. Thank you.
That's a really important thing with Sorcery and Exiles, or in Howard's universe.
Thanks.
Is, you know, we don't want you to be replacing combat in Exiles with sorcery. So I know there's also been a lot of concerns that
Opa!
this
Tote a mão.
into, you know, high fantasy spell flinging duels and
Que eu falei?
swords and
Tote a mão aí, ó.
will be pointless, but that goes against our like the cloth we're cut from, right?
Yeah.
Like everything about Exiles is meant to be intimate, bloody melee combat, and that doesn't change even if you're a sorcerer. There are things that you can do from farther away that can influence combat, but at the end of the day, you've got to get in there and you've got to chop stuff down just like any barbarian would, because that's the nature of the universe.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to keep true in the sorcery system as well.
And so, yeah, sorcery is in the world also is typically depicted as sort of like an evil, dark art.
Absolutely.
And you know, historically in fiction as well.
Aí, ó.
We know certain characters,
Quem lembra?
certain notable characters throughout the universe have done all sorts of fun things with sorcery. So the picture behind us, also the green picture, is actually artwork from our legacy MMO, Age of Conan, featuring Tathamon, and of course this is Falso Doom.
É, eu sabia, cara.
The classic Arnold Conan movie.
Talvez eles vão mostrar Tote a mão e outros feiticeiros do Conan.
To kind of give an example of like, the sort of like kind of mood that you can expect when it comes to, you know, mastering or, you know, taking the dive into sorcery. Yeah, like you said, like you're not going to be throwing magic missiles or like light spells or whatever.
Zone of truth.
Começa essa gameplay, Funcom.
One of the designs
Tô esperando a gameplay também.
one of the tenets that when we started was that
Vamos, Funcom, desenrola a gameplay aí.
for melee combat. We knew that when we made it, it should be different means to similar ends, so there will be different tools that you can use in
O sacrifício será o lag.
more nefarious and evil tools than the ones that you currently have, but there'll be alternative ways to approach similar problems and solve those problems, and ways to use people as the means to that end, right? Yep. That's kind of the MO for sorcerers in Howard's universe is they don't mind taking a couple people and cutting them down if it means advancing their own power.
Yep. So you can actually see behind us, behind Nicole here, actually is us. No.
I'm always in the way.
No, it's fine. It's we're all in the way. But yeah, this is like a sacrificial altar that you can then chain someone up to, and then take their blood or steal their soul essence. Maybe later we'll have a specific DLC that has our models in as sacrificial altars.
The Argyle sacrifice.
Yeah. Instead of like body pillows, we sell like dev sacrificial altars. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I can just hear my CEO like ready to teleport behind me and break my neck right now. Yeah.
Boa tarde, Denis. Denis Mendes de Oliveira. Boa tarde pra você também. Opa! Olha só. Saca aí, hein? Começou. Nossa, as magias vai ser rápida, cara. Ih, vai mudar o PVP mesmo, cara. Nossa, magia de ilusão, cara.
Kind of almost in a pilgrimage style fashion sent out into different camps in the world, and you'll encounter the sorcerers and
Rapaz, magia de ilusão, cara. O negócio vai complicar, hein? PVPzeiros. Podem se preparar aí que a coisa vai mudar, hein?
Scary old tome, and that tome contains power, the essence of the corruptive power that lets you cast magical spells and perform rituals. And what you're doing whenever you read that tome is you're
Olha só isso aqui, cara.
And we call these the words of power. The words of
Nossa.
construct spells. So, Andy, if you can actually
Que isso, cara?
snap back to that video of casting again. Whenever you're
Olha só isso aqui, cara. O jogo vai mudar totalmente, galera. Vocês podem se preparar, vai mudar totalmente.
And you put those words and syllables together to build a phrase that casts a spell. So the words of power are there.
Rapaz, isso aí, essa magia inicial aí dele, ele lembrou é do ring.
At the core of its being, gives you the ability to perform this magic because you've kind of absorbed that knowledge in learning it. So
Demon Sub vai alterar sorteio para os seus inscritos. Sorteio, você fala como assim? Olha só, igualzinho aquela magia do Elden Ring, cara. Das pedras lá.
You'll see more of those options appear whenever you're casting spells or you're craft more things, and you just have more tools and options.
Low Magic, hein? Pô, não tá low magic não, hein?
In the top right corner, my character has a lot of corruption, and you'll see actually corruption is now inexorably tied.
Pé de vento, pode anotar aí.
In the game now. So each various spells cause additional corruption buildup on your character, up to a maximum of 50%.
Eu sabia que eles iam fazer o vídeo aqui agora nesse incípita, cara. O trailer foi mais focado no Exiles e ele ia mostrar mais incípita, né? Quer dizer, tá mostrando os dois aqui no caso, né? Olha o cajadinho ali embaixo ali, ó.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
So there's kind of different power tiers of spells as well, and as you go into those higher power tiers, they require more complex reagents to cast a spell. That's an important thing to know, is that casting spells does require reagents because we want it to feel more ritualistic. We want it to feel slower paced and not like an action game.
Sorteio do passe de batalha. Vamos ver isso aí, né? A gente vê, né? Vamos ver como é que vai ser aí, né?
Feel like a ritual. So, going into the world and collecting reagents, collecting the things you need to learn how to do.
Tem que ver também como é que funciona lá no Conan, como é que é o esquema lá. Às vezes não tem nada, não tem key, não tem nada, às vezes tem que ver, mas qualquer coisa vamos sortear algumas peças, algumas coisas assim, pá. Tem que ver como que eles vão monetizar e como os métodos de pagamento que vai ser, como é que vai ser o esquema. Se tiver aquela opção assim, enviar para um amigo ou enviar para outro aí, é legal, cara.
If you want to be able to do that, you are going to have to risk your body and give your health away as part of the trade-off for being able to use this power.
Opa, o morcego aí, ó.
And then you'll see in a bit too.
Nossa.
Having a ton of corruption also causes your character to have.
Nossa, que doideira, amigo. Ah, por que não fez montando em cima dele de uma vez, né? Agarrando no meio das asas dele assim, ó. Aí pegava um chicotão assim, pá! Olha lá, ele podia ter feito assim, né?
And you know their veins start to stand out more with like a blackened blood looking kind of effect inside them, and it's really cool. And we've also added a spell on top of that.
Olha, olha, olha.
A lot of people play the game and
Foi pro saco. Nossa, que doideira isso aqui, cara. Olha os cajados aí, meio doido, né? Esse aí tá com mal mesmo, esse aí tá possuído. Nossa, galera, o jogo mudou, cara. Olha, saiu a corrupção, cara. Olha só, interessante.
You're a totally normal person, cool and good.
Someone's like, hey, that's my uncle.
Alright, let's show a couple more things off
so
here.
I don't know if you would know this, Dennis, but someone was saying, like, doesn't sorcery tie into the bracelets at all? Like, as in, like, something about you can't do sorcery stuff if you have bracelets?
Ó, essa habilidade aí é da hora, cara. Olha só que massa, cara. Nossa. Olha só isso aqui, cara. Como diz Carlos Abreu, low magic, né? É, pô. Low magic, só, tô achando que é só falácia deles que é low magic. Não, mas ficou legal isso aqui andando lá no pântano, hein? Ó, dá pra fazer uma base no pântano bem louca, hein? Olha só isso. Darkness. Magic of magia de escuridão. Nossa, mas cara, isso vai mudar totalmente PVP, cara. Nossa, cara. Olha só que doideira. Mano, isso aqui, cara. Prepare aí quem joga PVP. Já era. Coisa vai mudar totalmente. Sininho. Cara, em tempo real, cara. Escureceu em tempo real o local, cara. Você quer... Que coisa doida. Imagina os play tudo andando e escurecer em tempo real. Vai ser muito doido isso aí, cara. Olha esse montão de teia de aranha aqui nesse local. Insípida. Nem lembro se tinha muita teia de aranha aqui. Olha só, ele voltou pra lá. Que louco, cara.
Great. What we're seeing here is one of the spell called Darkness, which creates a localized like darkness, for lack of a better term. And also spawns a whole bunch of these.
Galera, tudo empolgado com as skins, cara. Skin, armas, tudo, cara. Os caras mostrando as magias, o negócio, mas a galera tá tudo lá empolgada. É skin, é a construção. É pedreirada.
You can still see the area of effect and where the darkness was cast off in the distance. And as you approach it, you will simply walk back into the darkness until the effect ends, and it lasts like a minute or something along those lines right now.
Yeah, some more cool details about this.
É, agora, meu filho, o PVP não vai se basear mais em cavalo. Cavalo e lança e adaga ferócica, mas não, hein? Coisa vai mudar.
And you can kind of go through and start to dismantle camps and kill things and take it apart methodically instead of just hitting one guy and aggroing everything in a half-mile radius.
De repente vai ficar furioso, vai. Ou não, velho, vai ficar alegre, já veio, tá cansado da... Cansei de dar murro em ponta de adaga ferócica. Pra não dizer murro em ponta de faca. Agora vamos mudar aqui a coisa. Às vezes fica feliz.
I was a ways away from some mobs that weren't aggroing me, and as soon as when I cast the spell, they're like, you, and they just started running at me.
Nossa, que louco, cara. Quem imaginava que ia ter isso aí no Conan?
That one, yes.
Yeah. So
but I did that with invisibility too, and I cast invisibility, and the gray ones were like,
Ó, ele ficou preso na teia. Acho que tem alguma habilidade ou mágica de que joga um monte de teia no chão. Pode ser que tenha, né?
Okay, gotcha.
PVP tá saindo da era da idade das pedras. É como eu disse, né? Eu ainda prefiro o PVP barbárico, né? O primeiro, né? No início. Ó a invisibilidade. Acabou, cara. Ó. A galera que não curte PVP vai andar só assim no jogo aí, ó. Eles vão até pro PVP agora zoar. Vai andar só invisível. Agora os PVP, ó, os noob do PVP agora vão virar Master. Master invisível. Nossa, cara, isso vai dar uma dinâmica 360 no PVP, cara. Nossa, cara, isso vai mudar tudo. Mudou completamente, cara. Isso. O Conan não é mais o mesmo. Não vai ser mais o mesmo. Ó. Vai mostrar de gelo aqui agora. Ele falou ali, ó. Ó. Nossa. Acabou, imagina. Olha só o delay da mágica. É rápido. Não demora, cara. Eu acho que só pode fazer essa mágica onde tem água. Me parece ali, ó. Eu acho, não sei. Eu acho que é só onde tem água. Não sei se é isso, vamos ver. Não é só onde tem água. Nossa. Realmente o PVP mudou. Já era, galera. Quem curte PVP aí, vai mudar totalmente. Esquece tudo aquilo que você viu.
No, everything that we put in will just be an addition on top of the game that's already there. It won't change anything about,
Mano, que isso, cara. Da hora, cara. Isso eu curti, cara. O povo só vai andar a pé agora no jogo. Não vai nem cavalo precisar mais. Só cortando os morros de Cipta lá, aqui as montanhas lá. Só assim, ó. Você vai olhar assim, vai ver lá o Carlos Darken lá com a mochila cheia, cortando o morro de Cipta assim, ó. Que isso? Galera vai estar tudo andando nos altos das montanhas, assim, com magia de gelo, cara.
Like if you're in a particularly like mineral dense area, for example, and you don't know, you want to see where like all the bits were, you can use that to see what's going on with that.
Vou ter minha própria ponte de bolso. Que doido, cara. Ó, agora vem a parte summon. Ah, é o portal. É summon não, hein? Ele falou The Moment Portal. Momento portal.
What does it do?
So it's a personalized fast travel system. You don't need to absolutely.
Pô, os caras deviam ter colocado o Caption Kicker.
On SIPTA and modded maps especially, this will be a great way to be able to actually move around the map. It acts as like a placeable, any other placeable or crafting station you would put in a base. So you'll have to maintain it. It'll have to have land claim and decay rules applied to it. But basically, any number of these that you create for your clan will be able to access each other. And when you step inside the portal, some stones will appear and show you the names of the buildings as you've placed them out. And the stones actually point to those buildings in space. So if I'm at New River and I'm looking one at the volcano, the stone will be pointing north toward the volcano.
Tá falando alguma coisa do vulcão aí, os espaços pra colocar isso aí.
Go from point A to point B. And you can link multiple of these together. Any that your clan builds will all be linked together.
Sweet.
Acho que vai gastar um espaço grande no. Eu acho.
I do want to then move into talking a little bit about how corruption, or so moving into the perk system, which we just mentioned. There will also be the ability to corrupt your perks in addition to that. So first we're going to show, kind of give a little context of the upcoming perk revamp, and then
Magia, descobre onde eu tenho os recursos.
those perks actually looks like.
Não sei, cara.
First, we're going to show this off here. Actually, let me do a quick edit. And then, nope.
Vamos lá, mostra mais aí. Parte do teleporte. Vai mostrar o teleporte aí, ó. Opa, aí, ó. Unspent Point, aí, ó. Isso eu acho que responde a sua pergunta, Alan Jones. Acho que as habilidades vão ser por aí, ó. Ah, não, vai estar lá em Knowledge, conhecimentos, provável. Strength, força. Ó. Especiais ataques mais 15 mais de dano, heavy blows, ataque pesado.
Because there's a lot of people that pointed this out, Savage is gone.
Second skin.
But the new names actually bring Savage back.
Nossa, vai mudar, a build vai ser louca aqui, cara. Podia estar em português pra gente ficar, ó, já fazendo as builds na cabeça aqui, cara.
And craftsmanship is something that starts with an E. We just changed these names a couple of days ago, so it's really hard for me to remember.
Yeah.
But, maybe if Quaglon's watching, he can drop me the
expertise?
E.
Oh, is it expertise?
I think it is.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
so Savage is back.
So everyone that was sad to see Savage gone, Savage is back.
Okay, Savage, right? Not
Yeah.
Savages, like
Right, because we did cut survival.
Combo Master, Combo Finish. Nossa.
There's a ton to talk about.
Second skin, choose later, escolha depois.
So, is there anywhere you want to start?
Gosh, I mean, I know. So,
Craftsmanship, lá no final, lá, ó. Ah, os atributos vai poder resetar de graça, pelo jeito, lá. Reset atributos. Sem precisar fazer nada. Será que agora vamos passar do level 60? Eu acho que não, eu não sei, hein. Vamos ver aqui. Incumbe experiência, movimento. Não tá mostrando o level aqui.
And in addition to that, while streamlining the process, you can see here that we're also now adding a choice of perks when you level up your attribute sufficiently. So in strength's example here, you get, you see everything up. Okay, my hand got cut off. You see everything at the very top, and then you get the choice. And then, when you get the third perk, you get to choose that, and then the fourth one is another choice. And you can see the choosing option here. And that goes for all the attributes on the list. Is there anything else that I'm missing here?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much touched on it. The whole idea here is to really shake up what's available in terms of character customization and progression, and make it easier to plan for stuff. So that's why we went down to 60 points total, because the level cap is still 60.
Revelaram magia que revela recurso no mapa, interessante.
Do I want to do like,
Aumentar o level, talvez, né? Data para sair atualização? Até os próximos 3 meses, mas deve sair um teste live antes. A data é Q3 2022, deve ser julho, agosto, setembro, mas deve vir antes no teste live para PC, para depois sair para console e PC normal. A parte sem ser do teste live.
I think will make you feel more like you own your character, and it'll let you do more of the stuff you want to do instead of just doing what's there because there's no option.
Yeah, and allowing for really giving you the option to each of those perk choices, like you said, is very I want to say the word specialized. So it's they're two really powerful options, but of course picking one locks you out of the other one until you respec. And so you have to make one of those hard decisions that I like to make when I'm min-maxing.
Essa parte foi muito bem explicada se não tivesse inglês, né? Infelizmente, eles não habilitaram o caption aqui, né? Mas depois a gente tenta traduzir de outra forma aí para poder entender isso aí.
Which is craftsmanship on this screen or this video, but yes.
Yeah. So but we added minor bonuses to all of the attributes as well. So if you invest in strength, you'll also get some more encumbrance as well too, because Obviously, it makes sense that someone who's more strong should be able to carry more.
Right.
So encumbrance will still be on that. It'll be on that bottom attribute that you see here. We increase the amount of encumbrance that you get per point, and this actually goes to.
Eles estão no admin, por isso dá de resetar. É, pode ser também, né? Porque eles estão no modo admin, né?
20 points in strength now is similar to the amount that you would have got from spending 50 points in the old system. It's just squashed down. So you gain a lot of power a lot faster. It's a little more front loaded. But in the end,
Valeu aí, refrim.
the same amount of power.
Okay.
Eu quero desafios no jogo. Parece que eles estão facilitando. Vai ver facilitando. Você vai ver os boss cabulosos que vai ter no mundo. Você acha que eles vão facilitar pra poder você ganhar moeda, poder ir lá, poder ganhar o passe de batalha? Ó, resgatar no passe de batalha? Vocês vão ver. Pode juntar a galera tudo aí pra poder guerrear contra esses boss aí, montar a guilda.
Because you might not really realize, oh, I put on this chest and it gave me strength, and I take it off and now I don't have one of the perks I had before. So we took the attribute points themselves off of weapons and armor, and we added the derived stats. So you can see in the strength preview, it says that strength adds strength and damage and additional carry weight. Whenever you get a piece of armor that would have had strength before, now it'll have strength weapon damage. So you get what is derived from that stat on the armor piece directly, instead of getting the attribute, which then gives you the stat.
É o que eu quero. Pois é, vai ser isso mesmo. Vai ficar massa. Agora o Conan vai... O que era pra ter sido antes, agora ele tá começando a ser polido. Polido pra ser bem feito.
When you log in, you'll get a pop-up. It'll be like the first thing you see that your attributes have been reset.
A dificuldade vai subir, tem bem quem joga solo, ou seja, tem pena de mim. Pois é.
We are also going to be resetting a lot of binds, I think, with the update.
Yeah.
I believe it's important housekeeping. Yeah, we have.
Isso com certeza é. Acredito que o morcego seja algo inicial nessa questão de voadores. Pode ser que futuramente, provavelmente vai ser. Na história do Conan, existe várias criaturas que voam. Pra você ter ideia, tem história do Conan, no Conan, que é um pterodáctilo. Não sei se Totiamon envia um pterodáctilo lá, não esqueci. Mas tem pterodáctilo. Então, tem um morcego. Então você pode voar no morcego, aquele maior lá, aquele brancão lá. Aquele rosa, né? Não sei a cor dele, maluco, cor de carne lá. Você pode voar nele, tem outras opções pra poder se criar, poder voar. Tem um monte de outros. Arpia. Se colocar o dragão voador, vira arco. Eu acho que dragões não coloca, não. O dragão do Conan não tem nem asa. O dragão do Conan parece um porco. É um porco com cabeça de dragão, assim. É mesmo, o macaco voador também tem. Nossa, Funcom. Sai dessa tela aí, ó. Agarrou, vira o disco aí. Tá doido? Se tivesse colocado pelo menos a legenda aí, tava de boa aqui, hein. A legenda só sai depois, se eles habilitar ainda, porque tem muitas vezes eles não habilitam a legenda.
Oh, sorry, there's one quick thing. People are really, a lot of questions about bow builds, like with accuracy and how that is now changed.
Yeah, that's an important thing. Good question. So we took all the weapons in the game.
Tem esse negócio de perks corrompido mesmo que eles mostraram. Até mesmo no trailer. Vai ser insano mesmo esse negócio, as builds aí. Vai ser muito doido.
Primarily, an agile, sneaky jerk who runs around and stabs things in the back. You don't even need to invest in strength anymore if you don't want to. You can just invest in agility and then spend the rest of your points in all the utility and survival-based things and the other attributes. That being said, you can invest in strength, and if you do, you'll get about an extra 10% damage on top. But the vast majority of the damage for those agile weapons will come from agility. Bows are included as agile weapons, and you will get increased damage from increasing agility. There is no more, as you can see, no more accuracy attribute. It's all rolled into agility together.
So many people are like, I'm a sneaky jerk.
O carisma level 50 dá pra andar com 2 lacaios. Se isso acontecer, amigo, Aí o PVP vai morrer mesmo. Imagina um PVP de clã, 2 clãs com mais de um lacaio. E magia ao mesmo tempo, tacando ao mesmo tempo magia, 2 lacaios, pet, não sei o que, vai travar tudo.
If you also put points into agility, just like agility gets more damage from strength, strength gets more damage from agility as well. There's about an extra 10% shave there you can get. But it comes at a cost, because if you spend those full 20 points into agility just to get a little more damage, you lose a lot of utility and vitality, grit. You know, all the other attributes have a lot to offer, you'll find.
Sweet. Alright, gonna talk now about a little bit of a corrupted perks.
Oh yeah.
So in addition to this new perk system and tying into
Ó, esse Soul Remain. Ah, então é isso aí, cara. Aquela poçãozinha que tava na loja pra isso aí, ó. Mas vai vender isso aí, cara? Aí complicou a vida, hein? Vender corrupção, cara? Ah, é que eles disseram, né? Pra quem não tem muito tempo pra jogar, eles iam dar uma facilitada, mas... Uma facilitada.
You can see the little pop-ups here, little soul remnants. Yeah, these guys, these little soupy green bottles. Those are soul remnants, and so you can use.
J. Lima Ribeiro. Valeu, mano. Fico feliz por isso. Sim, vai mudar o Conan, vai mudar tudo que a gente conhece sobre o Conan, cara. E não vai deixar o Conan morrer. Enfim, né? Agora eu acho que ele... Valeu, João Lima. Mudar a mecânica do boss. PvE é muito meme. Vai mudar a mecânica do boss. É, agora vai ter os boss globais. A galera vai se juntar tudo pra poder matar o camarada lá. O feiticeiro, o boss, demônio, dragão, tiver.
No evil villain in the Conan world is complete without a good old kick.
Good mule kick.
Good old mule kick. Hell yeah.
You don't keep your original perk, right? It gets overwritten by.
That's right.
No vídeo vai mostrar o carisma, sem falar que ainda bufa os lacaios e o carisma. Nossa! É, o negócio vai ficar cabuloso então, hein? Vai mudar muita coisa, cara. Nossa. Tá doido? Então se bufar lacaio, o negócio vai ficar... Opa, agora se o PVP já demorava pra poder matar um ao outro, agora não... desse jeito. Vai ficar bem dinâmico as coisas, né? Invisibilidade, escuridão, raio. Nossa, tem muita coisa. Tem nada de low magic no mesmo não, cara.
Corrupting an attribute halfway would mean that 25% of their health bar is uncleansable. You can still gain more corruption beyond that point. You can still go up to 50%, but 25% of that will be removable. If you max out any one of these attributes fully corrupted, you will have a permanent 50% corruption on your character, which means you can never go above 50% health. So that's the cost. That is the cost of corruption. It comes at the cost of your health, the cost of your stamina.
Luta de exércitos. Seria da hora lacaios terem lacaios terem um lacaio. Imagina luta de exército. O problema é... Bom, o problema é o lag, né? Seria louco se eles anunciaram o teste live depois da transmissão. Nossa. Já aí, eu deveria ter baixado o segundo Conan. Imaginando que possa acontecer isso, cara. Vai dar uma infinidade de build. Ó, é isso aí que é o top. Porque o Conan tá morto na build. Na build de PVP lá. Build simples. É, eu também não curti não vender poção de corromper aí. Essa aí... E o pior se essa poção, pelo que eu tô vendo, a poção ela gasta, né? Você tomou ela, gastou. Aí você vai ter que farmar mais pra poder ficar corrompido e usar essas habilidades tudo, né? É, amigo. Prepare. Ou você vai ter que ter bem tempo pra jogar, né? Ficar jogando direto pra poder farmar.
in terms of the experience that you get to, we want to make things feel as dark and evil and, you know, like perverse as it can.
Right. So. Yeah, and also like capturing that element of like, you know, you're peering behind the veil or beyond the veil, kind of on your own, and kind of experimenting and meddling with powers that you may not necessarily.
Os caras têm que faturar, né?
And so, you know, part of that.
Eles poderiam faturar apenas com a lojinha lá, né? Com skin e cosmético, né? Essa poção aí eu tô achando meio forçada, hein? Mas aonde tiver o respaldo dela, a galera vai ficar. Aonde tiver o recurso pra poder fabricar essa poção, no caso, a galera vai estar em massa. No PVP, então, ó, vai ser divertido, hein? Só morte. Mano, tô preocupado com o meu espaço no Xbox S. Um jogo com mais de 150 GB. Ainda mais com essa atualização, será muito grande. Ah, sei lá, acho que não, cara. Ainda não tem coisas em mapa ainda, não vi até agora. Se bem que no trailer modificou um pouco umas partes no mapa, mas não é tanta coisa assim pra poder ser mais de 20 GB, cara. Nossa, Funcom, viu? Disse que tá bom. Depois a gente lê nas notinhas do pet lá na comunidade. Vou mostrar mais aí. Se bem que... Ah, tem a parte da invocação ainda dos cavalos. Do necromance. Ó, deve mostrar agora. Vamos lá. You might have seen a little bit of that in our trailer, but it is the main thing about that is that the entire building system is essentially now housed within a new craftable item simply called the construction hammer. It's a very simple item to craft. It costs like a little bit of wood or stone or something. Eles vão falar sobre a construção ali simples, simplificar a construção. It is through that you will be able to access all your building materials, all your various options that you have. And in addition to that, there'll be like one touch, like contextual options where like you can just like, I think by default is like you press right mouse button on your mouse. O Psycho esse já tá reservando um espaço para atualização. If you placed a bunch of stuff down and you made a mistake, you can just hit right click, delete, and then hit right click again and then go back to building. And then if you 10 FPS com 2 lacai, tu joga um poder, crash o servidor. Details like in this corner, like you might switch over to one thing, you know, let's say you put down a brazier and then you want to go back to building walls. By default on PC, you just press middle mouse button on like whatever thing that you want to go back to building. You hit middle mouse button and then you'll see a little button like above your hotbar, but it'll then select whatever you pressed as like your selected building item, and then you can go back to like building walls, for example. And then that also works with like other placeables like braziers and all that. Decoration. Yeah, and kind of decorations.
Anything you put down that can be built through the menu, you just look at it, press middle mouse or R3, and you select that piece and build with it. I can't express how fast it is.
It's so fast.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer for everybody. It's better for mouse and keyboard. It's better for gamepad. Like, objectively, it is better.
It's so nice.
Bom, a questão agora aqui é o gamepad. Facilidade de usar o gamepad. Provavelmente eles vão mostrar isso agora. Ou só vão comentar, né? Ainda falta eles comentarem sobre os cavalos, montarias. O necromante lá, ressuscitar os mortos. E o conteúdo em todo, né? Depois dá um resumo.
And then there is a toggle fly mode where if you double tap space or double tap jump, you toggle between free flight mode and being able to walk around. Yeah, and then of course like all the
carisma já é roubado, imagina corrompido. E a outra coisa, mudou a carga e precisão, né?
If you want to just like fly around and you know build up something like
aí, meu filho.
Select some walls and build some things up and then
depende também como é que a Funcom vai lidar com isso, né? Esse negócio de carismas. A não ser que eles for usar como base o Age of Conan, né? Aí já tem uma base boa pra poder colocar isso no jogo, né?
Like fly around it really quick, or if you want to get back inside and like get a quick detail, like you can just double tap jump and drop back in.
It's so much easier to participate in building contests.
Yeah.
The guy in our marketing team that makes all of the awesome buildings that you see in our trailers and everything.
Oh yeah.
Sat down last week and I had a
Servidor do Imperador melhor do que está vindo. O servidor do Imperador tá bom mesmo.
I sat down for about 15 minutes.
Também é porque tem 6 mapas, né, no servidor do Imperador, né? Tem o Age of Calamities, Tinanor, Savage Wilds, Sapphire Exiles, o Exiles Age of Calamities que eu disse, né? Os outros eu esqueci qual que é. Aí os mapas lá tem muita coisa, tá? E o Age of Calamities tem muita, mas muita coisa mesmo, cara. Ele é bem completo na questão de mágica.
Once everything was working the way it was supposed to be for like, you know, y'all, when you get your hands on this update, I was able to just like build a whole bunch of examples and just like have a ton of fun, like really fast. So hopefully you have the same experience.
And touching back on creative mode, right now it is just for server admins, so you do have to have admin to do that. We are working on some stuff that we plan to come out later, no official release date or anything, where
2 escravos, 1 cavalo, 10 pessoas pra cada lado no PVP, imagina. E se for mais de 2? Se aumentar pra 3? 3 escravos.
Oh, and one note, I did see a quick question in chat. It unlocks everything that you as a player can build. So like, if you don't have a specific DLC or, you know, coming up like a specific building package or something like that owned, then you won't be able to place those buildings down until you know, buy the DLC or buy it from, you know, or earn it from the battle pass or buy it from the shop or something like that.
Em minha opinião, essa poção que vai vender, se vender essa poção, em minha opinião, é pay to win. Pra PVP. Pra PVP, essa poção aí de corrupção aí, se for vendida, aí é pay to win.
So yeah, that's an exciting new feature that's also going to be launching with this update.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of other, like, I don't want to say miscellaneous, but there's like a bunch of other like quality of life changes and balance changes that we'll be making, of course, with the update. Lots of bug fixes. Yeah. We are going to start also working on like a bunch of updates to like followers and thralls, like just across the board. And this is going to be like a multi-stage process, so when the update launches, I believe, like generally speaking, Thrall HP is going to get nerfed. They will have, and damage actually, so generally speaking, they'll have less HP and less damage. However, you can strengthen them with the new, what was the new name of the
Authority.
Authority, yeah. So once, so now Thralls will be directly, or the Thrall's effectiveness will now be directly affected by your Authority attribute. So increasing that will make all your followers and thralls and all that much stronger.
Taking it a step back, we know that thralls are insane right now in terms of
yes,
the potential damage they can deal and the amount of health they have, and it feels like the thrall is the star of the show. And really, when you're playing this barbarian,
Tá chegando até comentando sobre Lakai aqui, cara. Thralls.
So we've made some adjustments now, and we'll continue to keep making tweaks and adjustments as we add updates and quality of life features. But like Andy mentioned, Thralls will have substantially less health in this update. One of the most notable patch notes is that Beastmaster Tamos had his tables adjusted to be correct. There was a little bit of a bug in those, which led to his absurd health pools.
Yeah, how much did he have? Like,
it's tens of thousands at the moment.
Yeah,
if you get him maxed out.
Acho que a live vai ser dividida em várias. Ah, com certeza. Eles ainda tem que falar um monte de coisa ainda, cara. Mas eu acho que vai ser aqui ainda. Eles têm que falar da montaria ainda.
We don't want to nerf the game so hard that content becomes unplayable, or you can't participate in it. So we are taking steps to get it to where thralls are less of the thing in the spotlight and players are more. However, that authority attribute is meant to mitigate that as well. So if you're a person who likes playing with followers and you that's just the way you like to engage with the game, you won't gain the health back that they lost, but we did also reduce their damage by 50% across the board.
Prepare-se, vou criar o Kratos da Deep Web. 999 FPS.
You can make like a single thrall substantially stronger or have multiple thralls
following you.
On top of that, with sorcery, we've added new systems that like modders will probably be interested in for the followers themselves, where we can assign a type to a follower, and
like that.
you can change the number of followers of that type that follow you. So if you want to make a new follower type that's unicorns, and make it so 70 unicorns can follow you, you know, that's a thing you could mod in. By default now, whenever you raise the dead with necromancy, you can have 3 undead followers that'll chase you around, and those zombies.
Bom, acho que agora eles vão mostrar a questão do necromante aqui, olha.
That attribute that adds 1 to the pool, you can have 4 undead followers.
Eu acho, vamos ver
doing your bidding for you.
como que vai ser.
Great.
Excellent. Then we have other stuff planned for Thralls in a future update beyond this one, but won't make it in for this specific update. But we do have more planned with regards to Thrall balance and how you interact with them.
Yeah, one big one that we're planning to go in with Chapter 2 is the down but not out system. So right now there can be a lot of frustration when you just lose a Thrall. Something happens, there was no chance you could mitigate it as a player, the Thrall goes down. Excuse me. So we've added a system in that we have internally right now, and we're just testing, that the Thrall will kind of fall on the ground, or the follower, if it's a cat or whatever, they'll fall down on the ground.
Opa, voltei, teve de bom aí.
Give them a pat on the back, bring them back up to their feet.
Bom, tá uma falação doida ainda, o Michael Silva. Os caras não habilitou a legenda aqui, nem que seja em inglês, cara. Ele devia ter habilitado pelo menos em inglês. A automática aqui do próprio Google. Dava pra poder entender o que eles estavam falando mais ou menos. Teve nada, estão guardando falar em português. Vamos, Funkão, vamos, Funkão. É, more play games aí. Please.
What's gonna happen with artisan tables?
Artisan tables still exist.
Vai falar sobre
still looking at how much we want to take off the
tables.
The build menu. So they might go away. They might just get integrated into the menu, into the build menu entirely. I don't have anything really official to say on it yet.
Okay, cool. And not on pooping either, I'm assuming.
It's not planned for this update.
Cool. Good. Very good.
Good. Nice.
What's next?
Good play game.
Also,
Yeah.
Please.
Big feature. Grass.
Yeah, there's a grass update. The end.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. So now,
Can I touch it?
when you place
touch
building pieces down now, that pesky grass that would stick through the foundation.
It's finally,
It's pulled
cool.
away.
At
Yeah, so
last.
it comes along with a cool thing like, the rain changes, so it no longer rains indoors. It's all those little touches that make it feel a little more real, right? And clearing out that grass with building pieces is a pretty big one.
Essa live vai até as 4 horas, tem muita coisa pra falar. Nossa, é ruim, hein? Será que vai até 4 horas? Nossa.
Yeah, it's 2022, y'all. We're in the future, finally. We can finally... We're finally making it so you can't touch grass. You don't touch grass when you build things. Excuse me. Pardon. Okay, great. And then
Traduzindo tudo em inglês, very good, man. Live is doing very good. Conan Exiles, jogo bom.
Kind of more rapid fire. This is more like a general thing. But there'll be some combat updates. There will be a new in-combat standing animation.
Combate
I'm
updates.
excited about. Characters will no longer permanently just like be hunched over constantly with their weapon out. Like they will actually stand upright. Like we finally gave them a posture check.
Yeah,
Vamos, mano. Vamos mostrar o gameplay pra nós aí.
It's higher up. The hips are raised up, and the character stands more upright and less hunched over. So your character feels like they're a little more ready for action and a little less trolly.
Yeah, and just like kind of walking around like, oh yeah, it's time. Like you're not just stalking your prey to like go hit some rocks or something.
There's a lot of really minor tweaks in there too that I think you guys will appreciate when you get your hands on it. But
sério isso? A live vai até as 4? Acho que não vai não, cara.
Controller movement mode. We updated the animations for that.
Falta poucos tópicos pra ele poder falar agora.
On targeting to make it a little easier to use. Like ideally, I think it would be great if we live in a world where the lock-on is, worth using and switching between. So depending on the context you have at the moment.
O Carlos Novak tá sonhando aí com o update liberado depois aí.
But the lock-on should place the target in a better space screen space wise. Like right now, in live, whenever you lock onto something, it kind of pushes it to the top of the screen, which makes it so your character's looking down a lot. We made some adjustments so it kind of puts them more eye level, and the camera's a little more to the side. While you're locked on, your character can move at full, basically, I think it's full or close to the same speed you can move forward at. So strafe speed has changed, and you can strafe faster left and right now, which also changes the way you engage with combat. Like a lot of enemies that you had to kind of eat attacks from before, if you were locked on, you might be able to actually, you know, step
Pelo menos é o que apareceu no anúncio da Twitch. Será que vai até as 4? Acho que não vai não.
Yeah.
We'll also be, in addition to that, we'll be making some changes to just like specific balance.
Pode acontecer de ir mesmo, do jeito que eles estão falando em cada tópico. Pode ocorrer deles ir até as 4 mesmo, hein? Ou não, né? Não sei. Eu acho que vai ter umas 2:30. Até 4 horas é muita coisa, nossa.
So like small weapons like daggers will not have much of a multiplier, but like if you have like a spear, for example, that will do significantly more damage.
Stamina damage.
Sorry, to a mounted target. In addition to that, across the board, we are going to be increasing the stamina costs for all hostile actions taken on.
Ó, tá explicando ali sobre o custo de estamina.
So like
I saw a lot of people asking about that.
Yeah, specifically the lance. Yeah, so stamina cost will be increased for the lance. Additionally, like during like its active frames, like when it's out, that will drain additional stamina, and then each time you hit or impact with the lance, you will have to, like, instead of it just like being out forever and you're just kind of like, you just turn into the juggernaut.
Otávio, cheguei agora, o que vem de bom? Otávio, já mostrou algumas coisas aí já. Mostrou umas magias. Umas magias meio doidas que vai mudar o Conan. Mostrou a lojinha e por aí vai. Funcom Podcast.
Instead of holding the string drawn, you're holding the lance out. And we've addressed a majority of the cases where multi-hits would occur with the lance as well. So a lot of the reason you die instantly to a lance right now is it can hit you like 10 times in a single frame. And we've worked out almost all the problems with that to where you shouldn't be taking really substantial lance damage anymore. And then, like Andy said, once one hit occurs with the lance, you hit anyone with it once.
Suival já pensou em jogar em Warframe gratuito, em um jogo bom com uma boa comunidade? Warframe nunca joguei, cara. Nem sei se é bom o jogo, cara. Nunca tive interesse com Warframe. O único jogo que eu tenho interesse ainda, mas eu tô relutante ainda em jogar é o Rust de console. Então ainda o que me desanima no Rust é o PVP 24 horas. PVP não, o raid 24 horas. PVP pode ser qualquer hora, mas o raid 24 horas no Rust me desanima. Tô ficando com sono, Funcom. Também. A mão do pedreiro Exiles está como? Daquele jeito, amigo.
And two-hand axes are also getting just kind of an across-the-board damage buff, in addition to a larger dodge window as well.
Yeah, two-handed axes got a lot of love in terms of those windows. Like, there were a lot of two-handed axe attacks you couldn't cancel before with dodge, and it was inconsistent with all of the other weapons, which you can cancel at almost any time when you're attacking. So we changed axes to be more uniform with everything else. Hopefully they see a little more use.
And then we are also
acabou. Vamos pro próximo tópico.
And so drawbridge health will be reduced.
Bom, galera, eles têm que mostrar montaria. As montarias que tava lá, mostrando o trailer. O necromante. Os zumbis. Os boss global. E os eventos. No caso, os boss global, né? Então, tá faltando isso aí.
It also reduces the delta between tier 2 and tier 3. I mean, tier 3 is not the only option if you need to build base and protect some stuff, right? So we kind of want to try to reduce the barrier to entry and let more people get into raids and more people fighting each other, and having tier 2 be more effective for less cost than tier 3 is a way that you can build bases faster.
BR lá pergunta se a live é ao vivo.
Not feel totally decimated if someone wipes your base off. You know, you can get back into.
No quanto tem algum limite de alicerce para construção? Não sei. Tem umas novas regras aí que saiu da Funcom que limita algumas coisas, né? Mas
Also, I'm so sorry if I'm being like super quiet. I'm reading chat and I'm also collecting your questions, like a lot of questions that I see.
Yeah, I'm making sure to not have chat like up on the screen because I'll just get super distracted and get off track. And so Nicole.
But don't worry, I see you.
Nicole is being our all-seeing eye, and so thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that.
Vamos, Funcom.
Popped up really quick that you wanted to.
I mean, I've got a couple notes here, but
Okay.
I figured maybe because they're all kind of on topic from what we're talking about right now.
Sure. Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah.
And then I think we also want to make like demonic fire orbs.
acho que tem uma galera perguntando um monte de coisa no chat ali, cara.
Do more siege damage.
Lá no aqui, ó.
I don't remember the exact specifics from the patch notes off the top of my head, but I think Quaglan's going to give me a little fill in here real quick. We wanted to make them a more viable option. They weigh more, and the persistent effect deals more damage. So if you can use these to take buildings out over time better than you currently can with the Demon Fire Orb.
Sweet. I think that covers a lot of the nitty gritty / big broad strokes.
Parece que não pode mais estender muito a base.
The stability setting.
4.000 peças de construção, não sei.
There's a server setting now that's a multiplier that changes your stability on buildings. So if you want to turn off building stability and just build into the ether,
like impossible structures.
Yeah, you can build Euclidean architecture essentially because there's no stability.
Excellent.
As a factor, you can also increase or decrease that since it's a multiplier. The standard loss from like a wall to a ceiling is 20 stability, which is 20%.
Right.
So if you make it half that, if the multiplier is 0.5, you'll only lose 10 stability going from a wall to a ceiling
And
piece.
if it's 0, it's just like
no stability loss, 100% across the board.
So we can make it, Isn't
again really great for building content.
Yeah. Is it Euclidean or non-Euclidean?
Non-Euclidean.
Non-Euclidean. Yes. Finally, my dreams of creating MC Escher inspired. I thought non-Euclidean was the one that was just like does not conform to.
Yeah.
Bom, me parece que estão comentando aqui sobre base, construção, alguma coisa assim, cara.
So yeah, that covers all the broad strokes and all the bits that we wanted to talk about, unless something else comes to mind, which it might, and that's fine. So before we go into more Q&A stuff, as you might have seen in the trailer, we are looking to release Update 3.0, the Age of Sorcery, in Quarter 3, 2022. Beyond that, as we get closer to that time, specifics will be out. But that's all we got right now.
A galera chorando aqui, hein? Ó.
And if you want to take some questions, I know there's been a lot of questions and comments that we've seen.
Yeah. Do you have chat up too?
For a bit, so.
Okay, so like obviously if you
Please
see
take it
any
away.
in particular that you wanted to answer, but one that I saw a lot was like asking about crossplay. I don't know that there are any plans at this moment, but
Yeah, we don't have any plans for crossplay right now.
Okay.
It is plausible and something that's on the table for us, but we aren't making any moves toward it right now.
Awesome. Any plans on increasing the level cap?
O Rony Alcântara tá revoltado aí. Cadê o gameplay? É, tem que soltar o gameplay aí.
I don't know if it'll be like
Aumenta o som pra nós ouvir. Mas, nossa.
We don't have a really good reason to increase the level cap right now. It also could come about in the form of like progression updates, but those are not anything that we're working on at the moment.
Okay.
Cool.
No, we're not wiping servers. Let's see what else. Do spells have cooldowns?
No, there's still no concept of cooldowns in Conan Exiles. The idea of a cooldown, at least in its rawest form, a timer that counts down and you can do something again, is something that I'm personally going to try to always avoid because it's a very gamey game mechanic and Exiles is meant to be a game rooted a lot in reality, as much as we can make it. I know that there are things that are gamey, but we only do that when it's absolutely necessary. So if we can avoid it through other mechanics, we implement cooldowns in roundabout ways.
And you saw also, yeah, like the actual act of casting any kind of spell
Could be considered a cooldown.
Se eu não me engano, eles falaram um negócio de wipe ali, mas eu acho que não vai ter wipe não, cara. Se eu não me engano.
Like off the cuff or something like that. Like you do have to kind of go through that process. So yeah, like you said, that in of itself can be considered like a limiter of sorts in terms of how much you can use it.
This one's asked a couple times, and they're asking about like if there's gonna be any performance improvements on servers, multi-core servers. I don't know what that is.
Performance.
Yeah, I can't speak about multi-core specifically, but I will tell you this: we are literally always optimizing Exiles. There are points in our development cycle where we essentially kind of step back and analyze everything that is performing poorly, and we make really big leaps in certain places where we can. Even the new content that we're making now requires improvement as it's being made. Like opening the building menu used to cause a large hitch. I think it was something like 750 milliseconds or something like that. And now it's like 40 milliseconds of time between the time you press the button and it appears.
Nice.
We are taking a look into some things like character and server side right now that our optimizations will make things run better for everyone overall.
É isso mesmo, estão falando de performance e otimização aqui, ó.
Other than optimization and performance is always on our radar, and while the game is not perfect in terms of performance now, we are always trying to improve it.
É. E parece que não foi nada bom.
Things about like modding and all that too. This is something that I made a little announcement over the weekend in the Conan Exiles modding Discord. But you know, we just want to reiterate and really emphasize that like modding is absolutely not going anywhere. And then
rapaz, eu buscar uma garrafa de café e colocar aqui. Eles deviam colocar uma garrafa de café ali, bolinho, pão, um monte de bebida e começar a comer e beber e conversar ao mesmo tempo. Porque nossa!
To be able to update their mods for the new update, we're going to release the mod kit
shortly after the test live.
NFT de lote para construção? Não é possível.
That and the official launch. So that again,
pedreiragem treme na base.
Update everything we want, play around, and see what else new is possible with the updated systems.
Transmog system for buildings is interesting. It's actually a design I considered as part of this update when we were really early on, but it's not something we're actually developing. For the most part, one of the rules we have for Exiles is that everything should be as dangerous as it appears, right? Like a super scary crocodile should always be a super scary crocodile and not be able to one hit. You know,
achei que era pra gente.
I think that logic applies to buildings as well. We've taken a bit of a liberty with the illusion system to offer like a really nice convenience and quality of life feature for people, but when it comes to building pieces,
lembrando os memes do Bob Esponja 1.000 milhões de anos depois.
The tier 1 structure is looking more flimsy.
Yeah. There's like a ton of clamor for that.
Teste de molestar com.
Certainly consider it.
Yeah, we have a design for it, so.
It exists. Yes, thank you.
We have a lot of questions on if
eu ia traduzindo? Nossa, é louco. Nossa. Ó, o GSE, quer me matar? No início eu tava tentando traduzir alguma coisa, mas o cara fala numa rapidez doida. Aí pra eu não falar alguma abobrinha aqui, né, que não seja certa, eu não vou falar nada.
There are a couple new caves hidden away in both maps that I won't really say anything more about. But that's, you know, for you to discover and explore, and, you know, if I show it on stream, it's just going to ruin the fun of it. I'm sorry you have to be patient, but it's really worth the wait, I swear.
Yeah.
We generally try to not show off everything ahead of time.
Lembrando que eu só tenho 100 na carteira do Xbox. Mas a atualização vai ser gratuita hoje aí, Ribeiro. Pode ficar tranquilo aí. Já falaram que vai ser free. A atualização do Sorcerer, né? Os cosméticos. E treme a mão dos pedreiros aí. Aí já é outros 500, né? Mas vai ter alguns cosméticos também, gratuitos também.
our plan for battle passes right now, and you know, it is subject to change based on feedback, based on numbers. One thing that I think is really important to talk about.
Tá enrolando mesmo, cara.
We have a very experienced monetization expert that we're working with, and you know, we've taken his advice on a lot of stuff that we're doing. And originally we decided we wanted to say, hey, let's make these other battle passes available all the time, and you know, his
vai vir animal voador. Até agora só o morcego. Mas é ele que vai te... Tu não vai controlar ele não, pelo jeito.
Regardless, we're not going to re-add those items to the shop. We're not going to say, you know, here's this exact item you got in the battle pass. It's a thing that was limited availability. You paid for it. You were there when it happened, and now you can...
Pô, eles voltaram no Battle Pass de novo, cara.
It's nothing we plan to do. We may do variations on some of those items.
Ele está preocupado com esse Battle Pass, cara. Esse Battle Pass tá deixando... Tá zunindo no ouvido deles assim, longe.
Close version to it, but you'll never see that one-to-one same item in the shop that's in the battle pass.
Yep.
Não, a mulherzinha vai falar de novo, cara. Mulherzinha da comunidade ali, ó lá. Mais perguntas, cara.
Sorcery is, for now and probably for the foreseeable future, going to be primarily based on the player, right? The fantasy is about you.
O William Santos Rios aí, William. Acho que foi o William que me alertou da minha base deteriorando aí, ó. Te agradeço aí, William. Salvou nós aí, meu lacaio lá. Na rodador.
We do have mounts that have sorceress properties, right? You'll see this whenever you see some more.
Morcego vai ser igual as arpinhas do God of War 3. É, tá parecendo mesmo, cara.
Stuff that's already included for free. You know, there will be new mounts included in that have sorceress properties, but at the heart of it, we really want you or the people around you to be the people deciding to make that leap into corruption and decide, you know, hey, I want to be the bad guy.
Yeah, this power fantasy is about you.
A carinha dele sorrindo depois de falar do Battle Pass.
Part of sorcery like kind of sits there and like acts like they're casting spells, but doesn't actually do anything. So that's about the closest thing probably to actually having like an in-game unit that goes through the motions. But
someone asked if undead followers will follow you forever. They won't. They actually have the system that internally we call rot and decay, which is a system for them to, you know, rot and decay over time. So whenever you summon a zombie follower initially, or an undead follower, their skin will be more intact and fleshy, and the longer they exist, the more it'll rot away.
The more gross they get.
You can see the gross green, pussy sinew and stuff below.
Fuck yeah.
Não adianta inventar um monte e quebrar o jogo. Tem que trazer gente para jogar o jogo. No mínimo tem que rodar liso. É o que eu espero, né? Que rode liso, né? É, mas o Conan Washington, que você conhecia antigo, depois dessa atualização, vai ser outro. Bom, se você joga PVP, aí que vai ser outro mesmo, mudou totalmente. Se joga o normal, o PvE ou conflito também vai ficar, vai ser outro jogo. Mas o PvE vai mudar tudo, cara. Na verdade, cara. Crossplay? Não sabemos.
There also might be a mechanic. We might also be able to play with a mechanic with it too, like if you feed them a certain item, then it extends their life or something. That's
cool. I saw this a couple times in chat, and I just wanted to bring it up. I've seen a number of comments talking about, are you gonna move over to Unreal?
Essa live às 2 horas, não, começou meio-dia.
Honestly, at this point, I feel like because we have a lot of custom work done in the current version of Unreal that we have to make Exiles just work, period. And so it's not as
esse trio aí do Grifinória, Wesley R e Hermione não pode falar. Tem que lançar um Conan onde se perder no PVP vira escravo por uma semana. Nossa, tá doido?
I troll Reddit and the forums all the time, and this is one of the #1 things we see is like, when will you guys upgrade to Unreal 5?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give some history on Unreal Engine to begin with, and then we'll talk about this.
Dá pra controlar o morcego, mas a estamina vai pro saco, pelo que eu vi. Eu acho que é isso mesmo.
Unreal 3, Unreal 4. Those are where the major massive iterations in the fundamental structure of Unreal changes, where you're literally working with a different product.
Ah, doido, tá falando pra raça, cara.
Unreal 4 is. It was built upon it foundationally, but
Vai bugar o YouTube, a Funcom.
So Unreal has different revisions, and that's when you see like 4.5, 4.6, 4.
A live termina em 15 minutos?
Those versions, all of those
Como é que tu sabe, Refrim?
versions are very, very, very similar. And
Vai
they
até
do
as
get
duas?
minor changes like performance upgrades, you know, new tools that we can use to make content and things like that. That's actually one of the biggest things that comes in. Is just like new VFX tools, or you know, new animation tools or things like that. By and large, those don't affect us in terms of delivering a cool game, right? So our version of Conan Exiles was made in Unreal 4.15. And if you know anything about the timeline of Unreal Engine, 4.15 is around 5 years old.
Bom, vamos ver se vão falar alguma coisa agora. Vou mostrar alguma coisa. Falar já tá falando até demais.
And whenever we started making Exiles, we had to do heavy modifications to get it work with our internal backend, to do everything that we need for character creation and server communication and all of that stuff. Those modifications have essentially locked us into Unreal 4.15. What we can do is take features from forward versions.
Na Twitch tá marcando, então é as duas mesmo, igual eu pensei.
So Conan Exiles will never be anything other than 4.15 with heavy modifications. It is no longer possible for us to take the project, right-click, update engine version in Windows, and select 5.0 and make it Unreal 5. It's not that simple for us. If we were to do that to the project, it would generate months of backlog work, updating the systems that we created for 4.15 to work with the changes that have happened for 5.0. Even 5.0.
Bruno Michel, cadê as magias de combate? Aí, chegaram a mostrar algumas magias ali, mas de combate ainda não mostrou não, hein? Igual a do trailer.
But we will never be Unreal 5 specifically in Conan Exiles. If we make Exiles 2, yes, we'll use whatever the most recent version of Unreal is at the time.
Ué, falou um negócio de Conan Exiles 2 aqui, mas...
We will never update Conan Exiles to be Unreal Engine 5.0. We can take performance increases and gains from later revisions and backport them into what we have now. That's the story.
Ele falou alguma coisa importante aqui, depois eu vou ver se eu traduzo isso.
Exiles 2 when? Someday.
LOL.
I think there's almost no question that Exiles 2 happens. It does just become a matter of when. It's not a promise, just a observation.
Nice.
Vamos aí, tá doido, falação doida, 1 hora falando. Opa, test live.
So yeah, we plan on launching later this year, and then there'll be a pretty like a substantially earlier version on test live, so that you guys can all check it out, and just let us know how you feel about it.
Yeah. I saw also some questions about the
Nossa, a mulherzinha começou a falar de novo, já era.
Unfortunately, that's something
Mais
that
perguntas.
only, pre-purchased buyers received, so unfortunately we can't give those out.
Yeah, that's an exclusive to pre-orders. Yeah, and because that was an exclusive for pre-orders, like you can't just like freely give those out after the fact, I believe. Now,
when was that now?
It could be a case where we do like modified versions of it or something. Though. Like we could make like a tarnished Atlantean sword or something.
Ufa, disseram que o Conan não vai pra Unreal 5. Não tem nem como, né? Os consoles antigos não aguentam Unreal 5.
Those exact items, those are going to be pre-order exclusive forever. Very sorry.
Yeah, the Atlantean sword and the royal armor. Yeah.
So certainly possible with the system we have, but those, like Dennis said, those specific items will remain as pre-order exclusives. So I'm just like reading over some chat.
É possível que vocês vão acabar aqui e não vão mostrar nada. Deve ter um segundo trailer ou alguma coisa.
I suppose we can do. I mean, how are you feeling? We're coming up on the 2-hour mark right now.
10 minutos estão faltando pra acabar.
10 minutes more questions, and then
tem que mostrar alguma coisa aí.
If there's still like a drove of things that we need to address, we can have a follow-up, like, Q&A exclusive stream. And of course, we have our forums and social media. If you want to leave us a comment there, ask questions there, if we have an answer for it, we'll work to answer them as to the best of our ability within reason. So, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, pretty good. A lot of the questions that are coming up, a lot of stuff has actually been answered. If you guys go back through the VOD, you'll probably see an answer to a lot of the things that are still being asked. Someone did ask how Battle Pass will work on private servers. I did mention before that it will be on private servers. It'll work the same as it does on a...
Essa atualização é voltada somente para exílios ou cipta também? Os dois, exílio e cipta. Oh, silêncio aí, vamos mostrar alguma coisa?
Two-seater mounts.
What?
Two-seater mounts.
Oh, yes.
Oh, mounts.
We don't have
God, I wish.
Montaria.
Two-seater mount plans right now. Could be a thing we look into for sure. Someone asked if the demonic, the transportory pads will work on
Pets.
or how those will work for like privacy. Right now, they link between your clan. If someone were to not belong to your clan and stand in that pad, they would see the same options your clan sees because the item is rooted in your clan, but it's not exclusive to your clan.
Gotcha.
I don't know if this will ship or not because we are still going through polish on the system, but we have had an option to be able to switch between.
Bom, galera, o que me parece, pelo jeito, então, vai ser até sair o teste live e até sair o update, eles vão fazer várias lives. É o que tá dando a entender. Me parece que é isso.
Character transfers are being addressed.
Deve ter mais uma ou duas lives até sair o update. Ou 3. Principalmente no test live. No test live, provavelmente vai ter aí umas lives mostrando algumas coisas.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. If I've been like talking over you, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Can you put players on the sacrificial
that's a good
altar?
question.
You cannot put players on the sacrificial altar. Much like the player interaction with the truncheon now, you can't knock a player out to put them on there. Mainly because I feel like it would be a really bad experience to just lose control and be roped up for an indeterminate amount of time until someone decides to do something with you.
Someone's very curious about your watch.
Yeah, I saw that. That's why I was like furled my brow. I'm like, my watch like this? Like it's
a nice watch.
It's shaped like an old school like Casio watch, but it's actually a Timex, and I like it because it just has.
Ó, o cara tá falando do relógio dele ali, cara. Fala sério. Esse pessoal do Funcom é assim que eles trabalham lá na Noruega, vai vendo aí. Por isso que demorou um ano pra poder lançar um update. Nem lançou ainda.
The watcher furniture, so someone's asking about Twitch drops also.
Twitch drops, yeah.
Same rule as pre-order items. If you own those, they'll appear in the build menu, yeah, but we're not gonna sell...
Ah, essa questão dos navios é só no futuro mesmo. Vai ser um outro grande update de oceano. Agora estão recheando, vão rechear primeiro o conteúdo do jogo. Aí depois eles lançam um grande update. Mar. Olha lá.
No boats planned. Yes, new mounts. Yes, new pets.
For the record, I would love that personally.
Right.
And I recall like we put a lot of focus on the ship things that we added.
Ó, estão comentando sobre navios aqui, ó.
Yeah, so it would be awesome, but we have no plans for that.
E o oceano.
That's what my like. I didn't mean to like scoff. I hope no one thought that I was just like, yeah, I wish. Kind of. That's more what that was supposed to be.
É, pelo que parece aqui, realmente eles têm plano pro futuro pra isso, hein? Pra batalha naval.
You know, harkening back to, you know, Conan's time as a pirate, essentially, you know, they would probably be a large feature that came out, not just something you drop in the water and there it is.
Right.
I don't think there are plans for a Switch port.
I don't think so. No, sorry. Yeah.
Servers will not be wiped.
Yeah.
Nossa, vai acabar a live.
I mean.
You joke, but we've talked about this.
What?
There's a specific time and place in our lore that makes sense for us to have a new map with dinosaurs potentially. Not a promise, just an observation.
Ó, a possibilidade de um novo mapa não vai prometer, mas pode ser. Disseram.
My giant maps in my Conan. Give me Conan 20XX.
My favorite part of 3.0 is hard to define because I love all of it. Like, you know, this is one of the first features I've worked on personally where I've been really responsible for making sure everything is cohesive and tied together. So I've had my hand in every single thing you'll get to some degree, and we've tried to make it all feel like an experience that ties together. If I had to pick like one specific thing out, one thing that is like my favorite, it's really hard to say. I really like the corrupted attributes part of the corrupted attributes, because it's like, okay, sorcery is this really inherently evil, disgusting, corrupting thing that makes you a vile human for participating in it. And the attribute system, I don't know how many people really think about this, but they're attributes of you as a person. They are your, you know, they are how you have developed as a human. So to take something like your strength and say,
nas atualizações passadas tinha teste live? Algumas tinha. A maioria das atualizações grandes tem teste live primeiro. Essa vai ter também.
And I'm really investing in this, and that strength that I've been nurturing my whole life is now corrupt to its core.
Cara, não sei se fala pra caramba, hein? Tá doido? Nossa.
By the purple bar as it corrupts is really powerful to me.
Yeah, so you can actually live out the true fantasy of like, yeah, like you said, like corrupting everything like to your very core, like your very essence has been corrupted, and it's not just like a veneer of like purple and like a stat nerf.
Yeah, someone said Red Sonja ? Which isn't really a question in itself, but we do not own the rights to Red Sonja.
Oh yeah.
So we do own Conan, but Red Sonja is outside of the Conan IP, even though they mingle.
People are asking about being able to dye saddles.
Nossa, começou a mulher a perguntar de novo, a mulher da comunidade, cara, aí já era.
It is a quality of life thing that we can add in our to-do list, though, for sure.
It's a good suggestion, thank you.
Yeah.
Sharks for Sipta.
Technically, Sipta has sharks.
Technically.
They eat you when you swim too far away.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just looking at all these things now.
I don't think there's gonna be wands.
No,
there's like a little like. There's
but yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Little tiny like.
The weapon, quote unquote weapon. I actually had it labeled as a tool because I don't want people to think it's a weapon that you fight with and do combos with. But yeah, it's called an arcane focus.
Yeah, this little lad.
Opa, mostrando gameplay aí que nós já viu, né?
It acts as literally a focusing point for the magic that you're channeling. So you speak these demonic words, and the power runs from the runes into the focus, and you can see when he's casting, the things that he casts get sucked into the focus, and yeah, it's literally there to amplify the magic that you're performing.
Yeah, and the effects will like change color, kind of like depending on which spell you're
which domain of sorcery you delve into, and it'll change colors.
Eles não querem mostrar mais gameplay além desse aí de jeito nenhum, hein?
You know they're doing something in the realm of death. They're about to bring something dead to life, or summon a soul from the beyond, or something.
Can we talk about this?
Olha a macro lá em cima da energia dele, ó. Olha lá em cima, como é que tá a macro tomando conta de tudo, ó.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason we haven't, or...
It's not included in our notes, but people are asking about the event system, and the event system is getting a little bit of a, I don't know how to say it, like PR rework or something like that. Whenever we released Grave Matters, we released it as an event for people to participate.
Eu sabia que o Grave Matters ia dar início a toda essa questão de magia, cara.
To test the back end of the system, to detect if there were major bugs or flaws with it, to work on security concerns for it and everything.
20% de corrupção.
Coming out with 3.0. But they're not going to be signposted on the map to where we put a marker on it and we say, go here, do this thing. We're not going to have a big marketing push that's like, a new event has been added. We're going to add several. I think there's maybe 5.
É porque foi gravado e medo de bugar ao vivo, né?
Including Grave Matters. So, new events will occur, but I'd like everyone to think of them more as random encounters than events that we celebrate, like a holiday or something like that. So we can add random encounters that reinforce the theme of an event or a holiday, but for the most part, we're not going to say, here's a spot on the map, go do this thing.
Right.
It's a thing for you to see.
Cadê o refrim?
We want it to be something that you stumble upon.
Com o tempo dele aí, acho que ele errou aí, hein, refrim, ou acertou, vamos ver. 2 horas já, hein?
Encounter the world. There's some really cool ones in there too.
Nice.
There's I guess I don't want to spoil those either, but I'd like you to stumble upon them and find them for yourself, and hopefully you feel motivated to dig in and see what nefarious deeds are occurring in the events. That
yes. So yeah, like Dennis said, like this isn't to say that there will be other like major events taking place within the game, but there'll be things going on, but they won't be without as much fanfare as like Grave Matters, for example. Like Grave Matters was like sort of like a seasonal thing, and also like a teaser for this update. And also like a live test run of like a lot of the back end work that we made to the game to be able to facilitate these kinds of like more live event or like live encounter kind of deals, as Dennis said.
Someone said, I really want to know if there will be a chance to earn Crom coins in the wild. There will not. The Crom coins are only a paid currency. You will get them refunded back from the battle pass, like I touched on earlier, but it's purely a paid currency that interacts with the battle pass in the shop.
A sensação é de que eles estão testando ainda, por isso não querem mostrar muito. Tá dando essa sensação mesmo, né? Com console muito amador, parece que o Conan Exiles foi sorte. Parecendo mesmo. Não, o Conan Exiles foi uma sorte que eles deram enorme. É o carro, o jogo que mais vendeu deles. Eles são o que são agora por causa do Conan Exiles.
Starting the stream with like a thing being like, oh yeah, like thanks so much for coming to today's announcement about the announcement that you saw like last week, and we're thrilled to announce that we're announcing another announcement. But then this weekend happened, we decided not to do that. Yeah.
Vamos lá. Vai mostrar mais alguma coisa ou não vai?
Body/hair types. There's some work that we need to do before we can add a lot more to the base game in that realm. One funny thing is that was written as body/hair types. But we've actually talked about also adding body hair types. So, you could be, fully hairy or not.
Just give me my happy trail, please.
Adding more layers of customization.
Já tô até vendo o personagem caindo no limbo.
Be able to justify
o único que presta deles.
The amount of time that it takes versus the amount we can get out of it.
O Conan.
In terms of like player engagement, what they like. Like, we want to put the most development time into the things that people will engage with the most.
Yeah, I have definitely seen a lot of requests, here through chat and and a lot of comments on the forums and on YouTube of, just like having alternate body types, particularly to like support like more like portly body types, some bigger daddies.
That's me.
Etc.
Like when I play a game, I want to play the biggest guy I can.
Like, not just like ripped, but like I just want to be like
wide.
Thick.
Just
a huge lad.
My Sea of Thieves character.
So certainly something that we'd like to see.
Yeah, it's about relatability. You want to feel like your character is like you, and
of course, and I just if I want to add a little bit of a fur coat to him and put on a little bit of extra thickness, I want that. Yeah.
Nossa, cara.
Battle Pass cost. I can't say the exact price.
Fala pra caramba.
On finalized prices. Mods over 2 gigabytes are on our radar as well. That's a big thing. A lot of the things that we talk about internally revolve around mods because we'd like more people.
Ó, começa a falar de mods.
Obviously, there's a big part of our player base
agora.
Mods right now, and it's a thing we'd like to change. But again, it's like,
a gente esperou quase mês para isso.
What we don't put out as a result of working on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant.
Já estamos em dezembro e eles ainda continuam falando.
With like very limited memory, for example. So again, yes, certainly something we're aware of. It's just. If we could wave an arcane focus and just make that be, we would. But that's unfortunately in real life, it's not quite that simple. Maybe one day.
Nossa, amigo.
How we feeling with questions and all that jazz? We're just about at the 2-hour mark. So first of all, thank you so much for staying tuned in and all that. Thank you for your questions.
Someone asked, I'd like to know if we're finally going to make the PvP servers for everyone time-wise. Fair for
Eu achei que o cara ia terminar agora.
This is one thing I'm going to talk with the team about still. You guys are hearing it first before they are, but I do want to increase the harvest and XP rates on PvP servers so it's faster. Like, I just want it to be faster, right? Faster for people to get in, level up, grind stuff out, make bases, and fight with each other.
And that way it isn't as like morally devastating.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things.
When you lose something,
when you lose stuff, it matters less because it was easier to get. So hopefully that can increase engagement there. I think there's a sweet spot to find there, because if we make it too easy, then it gets boring really fast.
Right, because it eliminates the point of PvP. Like,
right, we have to find where like your stuff still matters to you, but it doesn't make you want to quit the game because you lost everything.
Yeah, kind of like as a personal anecdote, I actually have a close friend of mine who, like here in town, who actually is an avid Conan Exiles player, and he specifically cited like he had to take a step away from the game for a while because he was on a PvP server and like he put a lot of time into his base. And
bom, agora o assunto ali é PVP, né? Mas
and like he actually like logged in to watch
inglês
destroy his
tá
base
osso.
and like killing him as he like was waking up from all that. And so I can empathize with that. And I know he's not the only one.
Já almoçou, Brasil Civil? Senão pega o prato que você vai demorar.
Okay.
O jeito de tomar água.
God, Chad is just like going crazy. But yeah, we're going to be here for like 12 hours if we have to answer every single thing. So, I think now's a good stopping point for today's stream. We're running over just over 2 hours. But we are still constantly reading over things that are being sent at us over social media, comments on YouTube, here in chat, of course on Discord and our official forums. I invite you to, just like come on to the official forums, make a thread, praise Yogg and see whatever things you see here, or if you want to yell at us about something, go ahead and let us know in the forums now that you have the more complete picture of what's going to be coming up. And then, we'll try to answer what we can through those channels. And then if there's enough like clamor or enough like questions that we feel that justifies like perhaps making another stream,
Tá doido, né?
Q&A, or like making a short video that answers all these things, or even an FAQ. We'll visit that when
A moça tá com a cara de triste.
That's it from me.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add, Nicole?
No, just follow us on the Conan Exiles Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Refrim. Errou aí, refrim. Errou aí por quantos minutos, refrim? De 7 minutos, hein?
I can answer questions on Twitter too.
Por enquanto.
Want to ping me at Den Makes Games.
What? Oh no, I didn't lock this down.
That's alright.
It's fine. Sorry. One sec. Sorry, I'm just being a good.
Opa, estão clicando ali. Vamos mostrar mais alguma coisa?
I'm gonna put these things up here so you guys can see above Nicole. Oh my God, above Nicole's head. So these are our various social media channels. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at these at these usernames.
Tá rindo ainda da nossa cara.
Now it's attacking.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Just leave us a comment there, or just like, if you want to joke or talk about, I don't know, call me Argon McMahon Bun, that's fine too.
Ask about poop.
What's up?
Ask about poop.
Ask about poop. Yeah, whether or not when we're adding a full defecation system into the game. So there will be a recording up on Twitch and YouTube following this. So for those of you who couldn't watch it, that'll be there. Beyond that, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying tuned in. I know for some folks it's super duper late.
Yeah,
I know,
thank you.
Yeah, I know like for our outcasts in Japan, it's like 2 a.m. now. So.
Bom, pelo menos eles mostraram alguma coisa, né?
What's up?
Tá bom.
And our buds in Australia,
Right.
It's like
agora é aguardar a próxima. A pregação deles aqui, né?
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. This is a really exciting time. And we'll see
Nossa, amigo.
on social media and with more to come. Bye.
Some.
Please.
No, we will never stop. Mike's still on.
Nossa, mas tá de boa, galera. Mas tá de boa, galera. Eles pelo menos mostraram a questão do combate, né? O combate. Mostraram algumas magias. Mostraram. Só não mostraram as outras coisas. Montaria, aqueles negócios. Eles vão mostrar nas outras lives. Eles guardaram pra poder fazer isso. Eles não vão mostrar tudo de uma vez. Eles são espertos. Bom. Então é isso aí, galera. Também vou indo também, porque, ó. Tá osso aqui, hein. Sentado esse tempo tudo aqui. O bicho tá pegando aqui já, ó. Então vamos lá. É isso aí. Bom, então falou isso aí, galera. Obrigado a todos que estiveram aí assistindo aí a live. Agora me parece, né, que o Conan tá tomando um... Tá subindo, né? Tá subindo a ladeira. Só espero que não que ele chegar lá em cima, ele não... Puf. Pois é, né? Bom, então é isso aí, galera. Obrigado a todos que estiveram na live aí. Tô vazando. Breve a gente tem mais algumas análises do que foi mostrado. Algumas coisas, umas coisinhas a mais aí do que tá vindo aí, chegando pra gente, né? O importante é isso, que o Conan Exiles tá mais vivo do que nunca, não morreu. Falou, galera! Até a próxima live e até o próximo vídeo.